A mid-season race in the Area Cup Series means the Lady in Black is back. Some also call it the track too tough to tame, and some may just call it Darlington. But there's nothing darling about this South Carolina motor racing staple. 200 laps tonight in this throwback evening in round number 8 of the Area Cup Series. Hi everyone, Kyle Heyer, joined tonight by Finian DeCuna and Hunter Sleppy. And guys, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a points-paying race here in the Area Cup Series, but back in no better way than to Darlington, South Carolina. Finian, this place is awesome. We love racing here, but it presents a massive challenge to everybody.
I was going to say we were on break for a couple of weeks, and what a track to return to for these guys. What an immense challenge for these guys to return to back on racing here. It's a very small group here at Darlington, up right against the wall, an iconic run around this fantastic racetrack and historic racetrack, and these guys are going to have to be on it all night long here for 200 laps.
There's a couple of crown and jewel events that everyone wants to win, and obviously that's the Area 500 and the Area Southern 500. That we are back here tonight for the Area Cup Series. And looking at some of these guys that are already locked in, you're going to have to refresh and refocus, except if you're already locked in. Jake Matheson, Jake Nichols, James Skyley, Travis Beckner, Connor Horn, all with wins, all locked in. They can go into this race with ease. However, if you're anyone like Jeremy Miller or Seth Knoll, one mistake and you're possibly on the outside looking in after tonight's race, Kyle.
Yeah, it's about time to start getting serious about making sure you're in the playoffs. Jake Matheson has done nothing but do that so far. 3 wins in 7 races. He's by far the most dominant driver. Jake Nichols there locked in. So is Skyley, Beckner, and Connor Horn. But there are many that are still fighting for their chance to make it into the playoffs here. As we head into this race, this is the 5th annual Area Southern 500, presented tonight by Slinger Racing Graphics. Big thanks for their support here this evening, as well as the other partners and people we'll talk about later. But we're going to head down to qualifying here momentarily. And Finian, the grid is sizable, but this is a long race, one of the longest in the season. That gives you plenty of time to move forward. But as we know, track position at Darlington matters so much.
It really does, and like you mentioned, there's a lot of time to move forward, but with how many laps are challenging this track, there's also many laps where you can find yourself going back, running up against that wall is again where you're going to be making time, but you can also tag the wall or hit the wall. You're going to see guys scraping the wall all night long, and that's only going to kind of chip away at your lap time, slow the car down over time, so you got to be careful, you got to behave. Seth Knoll out there already on the track, a little bit loose out of turn 4 as he's completing his 2 laps here.
Yeah, you don't want to do it during qualifying, though, because then their lap time is invalidated, and that's not going to be good because you're going to have to start from the back and climb and claw your way to the front. And here we got some of the throwbacks here for Darlington, and this is always one of the greater spectacles about racing at Darlington. You got Throwback Week, and there's Travis Beckner with Michael Waltrip throwback for the number 28 Calusa Pines Motorcraft car.
Yeah, looks good. Travis Beckner pulls down to the apron. He had a heck of a race last week in the charity race that we did. Did a great job in that event. And, of course, it is, as you guys mentioned, throwback night, which means that we got plenty of liveries to look at. Justin Anasogak's, unfortunately, not one of them. And Cedric Hunter, is this Aflac throwback to Carl Edwards? I love this. That's great. And I actually made a joke before that we signed on that, typically with these throwback nights, Finian and I, as we're generally younger, 25, 26 years old, that we don't really know a lot of the throwbacks. And we were joking that we're getting old enough now where the throwbacks are suddenly appearing from, 2007 to 2010, which is when we first really had a fleeting interest in NASCAR. So, all these are starting to look pretty familiar now. I don't know what that says about us, but just fun to know.
Just shows how old we're going to be. We're getting. I'm going to be 26 in a couple of days.
Oh,
so
man.
We're getting up there. Vincent Cortez and his Dale Earnhardt throwback comes flying off of turn 4 across the line for him. Can he be up there like Dale Earnhardt? He'll be up in 3rd at the moment.
Doing it for Dale in the Dale Jr. throwback from Vincent Cortez over there, and Dawson Miller making all those DEI throwback schemes where you saw Travis Beckner qualifying earlier. And a lot of good schemes here tonight, and there's another one. That is actually a throwback to a couple of years ago, I believe, when Eric Jones had that Tide car with the blue on the side. But everyone remembers the Tide car from Ricky Craven in the photo finish with Kurt Busch back in the 03 Southern 500.
Yeah, the old Tide ride, of course, that was the Jones boy car. As that Nichols boy works his way around turn 2 up onto the back straightaway, and Casey Lakatos, he got on board his car tonight.
I don't think it's a throwback. I think the regular paint scheme for Casey Lakatos in the number 50. MTV and area shop on his car, 11th fastest at the moment, slowest of the ones that have qualified. Is 75 James Shanewolf out there. He's going to come to a stop though and reset.
Ooh, Mason Kane going for a big slide there, Hunter, out of turn 2.
Yeah, and the another throwback there from Junior Motorsports in the DEI days. This is actually from the not Nationwide Series, the Busch Series back at the time when Junior ran the Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes. It wasn't Rugrats. That was the other thing out. See, this is why we need to have someone that can spot things like this, because Rugrats, Looney Tunes, it all kind of blends together into animated characters.
Oh,
I love that. Kane wipes off the corner. He's already completed his lap. He actually, Mason Kane, though, he did actually invalidate both of his laps, so he's going to be starting from the back.
Kwame Scott works his way around in the number 99 big wiggle there. Another DEI throwback down the back straightaway in the Celsius Camaro here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful looking car. We'll see that car will be near the front here just on the first of his 2 laps. Trying to get a decent apex off of turn 4. It looks calm and collected. Will be quick, but that's going to be the big thing across the line for Kwame Scott. 28.873 up to 3rd for him.
That's a good lap.
an 03 throwback to Dale Jr. I actually have that same Budweiser car sitting right next to me. And
look at this one. I love this. Yeah, this is the is this Juan Pablo Montoya vintage?
Yep.
The big red car.
Oh, yeah.
Big red.
I actually have this car in the 1/64 scale size from a number of years ago. One of my favorites. Love that. Greg Mitchell, he's usually got pretty good one. He's back in the classic Miller throwback to Legal Bram & Co. on the side. And up to 6th place on his qualifying effort. Here's Jake Nichols rolling out of pit lane.
Beautiful number 73 for Jake Nichols. See if he ends up near the top. Trying to think which year or which driver's paint scheme this is. Can't quite recall off the top of my head. Hunter, throw it to you.
This one ain't from 2009. What's that?
That might be a Ron Horner they throw back. I'm not 100% sure on that.
You might be right about that. Yeah. See what Blaze McKinney's got on board his car. EnterCars.com scheme.
Oh, actually,
Kurt
it's
Busch.
it's a Brad Keselowski paint scheme back to 2007 when he ran that same paint scheme.
Was this the
number
car
9.
is this the car that he put up in the wall at Fontana that one time? No, that was the 88.
That was a gold 88. This was the 07 truck that Brad Keselowski raced in.
And to the pole.
Wow.
And Ryan Hartz goes 4th quick in the number 3, and no surprises there.
No, yeah, I know this one.
And Sterling? Is that you? No.
It seems like it, but I'm not sure that's quite the mark. Ooh, the puts in the wall.
There were more than one silver car in the 2000s. And look at this, Matthew Bell back again with the Evernham schemes, another one of my favorites. This is where it gets fun. I mean, a lot of times everyone's like, oh, yeah, I remember that from 1985. I was not even a twinkle in my parents' eyes at that point. And here we are now finally with some throwbacks that I can remember from my childhood.
Very beautiful one at that as well. The beautiful number 9, Matthew Bell, trying to get out there here as about half the drivers have gotten a time down. Another couple have attempted times but have not been able to post a clean lap. So a lot of them going to be starting near the back. We'll see Matthew Bell is going to be one of them. I don't think so. Look like a clean lap as he comes across the line.
Man, another good one. Look at this. Connor Okrezik, the old Spice livery from the early days of Stuart Haas Racing, 2009?
2009. That is 2009. That's actually from one of the Slinger Racing Graphics stable out over there. One of the paint schemes that he made over.
I like how we joked about all the schemes coming from 2009 before the show even started, and now all the ones I remember are pretty much 2005 to 2010.
Yep.
Justin Bondurant is on track now, and
Dale Jr. all the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
2011 Dale Jr. Bristol 50th anniversary car.
oh, that's great looking.
There's another Dale Jr. throwback in here, and it's not the 88 of Shackelford, which that would have been a great time to do that. And it's not that one either. That's not the one I'm referring to, but another Slinger Racing Graphics throwback scheme for the Ada Raid slate. I'm talking about Blaze McKinney, but here's Jacob Bell and the Jeff Gordon throwback flames on his number 77.
Jacob Bell's looking pretty good as well. This is a really good field of throwbacks tonight. And in the past, we've seen some groups throw way back down to the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah.
But this is some more contemporary cars tonight, which I can appreciate. Yeah, so all the cars that have not yet qualified, of which there's more than a dozen of them, only one didn't attempt a lap. That was David Weishart. So it's going to be an interesting start to this race. Guys, remember, this race in the past has had quite a bit of carnage. Our average number of yellows, 5 cautions for 19 laps. Previous race here, under 2 hours of run time, 7 different leaders, 10 lead changes. This is a pretty sizable race as far as length is concerned. The last 2 races we had here, Jake Nichols was your winner. He'll start on pole again. And from what I recall, he came from a long ways back last time finishing to win that one.
I mean, he's got some stiff competition this year. We've talked about all season long. This a lot of people stepped up, especially Jake Matheson, who's a newcomer to the scene. He's really stepped up. 3 wins to his name this season so far, and he's going to be starting solid in 5th. So that's definitely going to be the one driver I can assure you that Jake Nichols has got circled on his radar.
Yeah, speaking of 3, that is the season Jake Nichols won his first Southern 500, and that was from the deepest in the field. Started all the way back in 32nd and fought and climbed for a impressive win. And like you mentioned, he's won the last 2 times here at Darlington, looking to make it 3 in a row.
All right, sorry for blasting ears out there tonight with that as we get ready to get launched here for our 200-lap adventure. This race could go pretty quick if we don't get any yellows, an hour 36 minutes, but we will likely see some along the way. Race fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel. As a subscriber, you'll have Area iRacing emotes to use in the chat. You'll also earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise, all at the price of just $5 a month at twitch.tv/Area iRacing. And race fans, start your engines with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code Area iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. With that, let's get through our Roasted Gems coffee starting lineup, and we'll run through the grid once more. Nice looking Valvoline throwback on Seth Knowles' car as well. We'll try to get through some as we go through the grid. But here we go. Row 1, it's going to be Jake Nichols, previous race winner here twice. Seth Knowles starts on the outside of that front row, Finian.
And behind him, Matthew Bell in the number 9 machine, going to be starting on the inside lane. Next to him, Connor Kresick in the number 14, going to be rolling off in 4th.
And row 3, it's Jake Matheson in the number 56, another DEI throwback, and conveniently right alongside the number 3 of Ryan Hartz. He'll start 6th.
Moving back to 7th, it's going to be Kwame Scott in the number 99. Next to him, Blaze McKinney in the number 87, rolling off in 8th.
And 9th place, it's going to be Ed Robertson in the number 64. Vincent Cortez starts in 10th in the number 32. Another Dale Jr. throwback there in row 5.
Greg Mitchell's going to be rolling off in 11th place in the number 2. Next to Michael Curran in the 24 in 12th place.
And 13th place, Travis Beckner in the number 28. He'll roll off another Michael Waltrip throwback to Jeremy Miller in 14th in the number 30. Great looking car he's got tonight.
Cameron Hearn's going to roll off the inside of row number 8 in the number 4 machine. Next to him, Jacob Bell in the 77 and a beautiful Jeff Gordon throwback. One of my favorites in 16th.
And 17th place, Cedric Hunter Affleck throwback in the number 13 Chevrolet. Blake Hoppy starts alongside him in the number 23. Winston on the side of that car in 18th place.
Moving on back to 19th, going to be Bryce Senezak in the number 09 machine in 19th. Dom DeLeo in the 22 car in 20th.
And Ray Slade starts in 21st. Another Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback, Edward Scherer Jr. That is old Matt Kenseth throwback from the mid-2000s. I believe that was infamous for that fight back at Las Vegas in 2007, I want to say. Maybe it was 2006.
Probably, I think about that. Justin Bonner's going to be rolling off in the number 11 in 23rd. Next to him, Garrett Gray in 24th in the number 5.
And 25th place, some of my favorites tonight up on the high side. Casey Licata starts in 25th. Then it's Connor Horn in 26th, and that Juan Pablo Montoya throwback in P26.
Douglas Newig's rolling off in the 71 in 27. David Wise are next to him in the 33 in 28th.
And 29th place, Skylar Shackelford in the number 88. And alongside him, Tyler Nichols in the 41.
Ricky Springer, the fabulous Hudson Horn in the 31st place. Next to Mason Kane, the 31 into 32nd place.
Ben Pierce starts in 33rd in the number 65. Yusuf Ghali throwing it back a couple of years on SimTV in the number 54. Then it's Justin Anasogak in the number 67, and James Shainwolf rounding out the rest of the field. The field rolls their way through the last corner. It is throwback night here on SimTV in the Area Cup Series. As we get ready to go racing tonight, here we go, 200 laps. and many more miles at the track too tough to tame. We're underway from Darlington. Car in the wall in the back straightaway. Mason Kane, I believe, is one of them. Maybe some other. Shane Wolf in the 75. We'll have a look at that a little bit later once the dust clears at the front of the field. Nichols leads the first lap. We're 3 wide behind him. About 10 cars back after the first lap finish.
Yeah, everyone's still shuffling and jockeying for position early on. A couple drivers already collecting their Darlington stripe early on the first lap. That was Tyler Nichols and Mason Kane that made contact off of turn 2. But still some decent fights down the order. Looking here in the middle of the screen, that's Travis Beckner in the middle of 3 wide as Cameron Hearn's trying to make his way on through in the number 4.
The 30 and Miller had to back off and going into turn 3 just so they can make the corner. A smart move early on as there is some smoke on the front stretch. Not sure if there was a spin or a car going down pit road, but the 31 of Mason Kane was involved in some early contact.
That was also Mason Kane that caused the smoke off of turn 4. Not a good opening lap for him.
Now we'll have another look at those a bit later in the evening. We'll probably get some downtime as this race plays out, but we also have the potential for it to be quite the yellow fest. This track will bite you. Don't call the track too tough to tame for nothing. But still smoke clearing on the front straightaway. Everyone's singling out now. Seth Knoll, second place, and Connor Okrezik in third in that smoke.
Whoa, Greg Mitchell drifting in turn 1 after contact with the 64. He's down on the apron to save it.
On the old line there at Darlington. That's an old line that they used to run back in the 50s, 60s, and what.
I mean, hey, it's a throwback race.
Yeah.
It might not be the fastest way around, but
I learned that a couple of years ago that, I don't know that it's entirely common knowledge that the bottom of the racetrack was actually meant to be where you would drive. The outside lane and the higher banking was supposed to be a safety feature, runoff area effectively. But the drivers figured out, well, they banked it more. It actually run quicker up there, and because NASCAR has a complicated history with track limits, fair game. And that to this day, they still use outside lane. That's why it's so narrow up there.
I mean, complicated history is also another funny way of saying non-existent history with track limits.
Just like my complicated dating history.
As Connor Hart is racing side by side, race slate off turn 4. We're side by side down the front straightaway for both of these drivers. Connor looks going to kind of back out of it, just trying to find a groove. And that's going to be a big thing early on. I mean, it's a 200-lap race, so a lot of these drivers you're going to see, they're going to try to fight for position, especially early on, but then slowly get into a groove. It's just a matter of singling yourself out. There's a big train of cars in behind the leaders, all running nose to tail, just trying to feel this race out.
Trying to log laps in, and towards the back there you see a car near the outside wall. Cameron Hearn side by side with Beckner machine almost got into the outside wall. I'm just giving it a little kiss there coming out of the corner, but that's something you're going to be seeing a lot more of when we're getting into the later portion of these runs. Like coming off of turn 2 and turn 4 especially, these cars are going to get loose and the grip's going to fade away quick. So expect to see a drastic decrease in lap time from now than about 10 laps or so.
Watching Travis Beckner's wheel stand is infuriating. That thing shakes around so much. Like it's got a bolt holding it together. I think it's driving on water.
Yeah, then he was busy because he was in behind Michael Curran, was trying to throw some blocks as Beckner, Hearn, and Robertson were trying to get past, and he was a roadblock in the way. Taking a look back at what happened earlier on lap 1 off of turn 2, there you see a couple of drivers getting into each other there. The 31 getting into the 41 of Tyler Nichols, I think, started that. And then who was that down by the apron?
It was
Shackelford.
Yeah, Shackelford in the 88, and then this was the later incident out of, was there some payback here?
Might have been. There's Shackelford in behind the 88. Did he go for the lunge?
No, on his own.
Got loose.
And we were judge, jury, and executioner there for a moment, weren't we? So, frantic first couple laps
Ed
complete.
Ed Robertson had some contact and some choice words to say to people off turn 4.
On the inside lane there, losing a spot or two to Ricky Springer now, and on the outside of him, just going by, that is 609 Motorsports car, Yusuf Ghali, yeah.
And this is a throwback to a Grid Life livery.
Yeah, I was going to say, but it looked familiar.
Yusuf ran back in 2020 or 2021 on SimTV. They asked me if I still had the base paint scheme for this car, and I absolutely did not.
Yeah, I was about to be genuinely surprised if you did have it.
No, definitely not. But they managed to reproduce it pretty well, and with the fonts and everything, that's pretty well done. Credit for that.
Yeah, and solid climb too for Takuma Usigali. Up from 34th, he's up to 22nd so far. Only a handful of laps, so he's definitely one to watch it on the move. Taking a look at Jake Matheson, who's dropped just one spot from where he started, from 5th to 6th in the number 56 machine. Beautiful Steve Park throwback.
Yeah, all the Miller Racing throwbacks are done from Dawson Miller and from
Caution.
Skylar Shackelford is around. First yellow of the night out of turn 4, it looks like. Let's see what happened to Skylar here to trigger our first yellow at lap number 12. Already sideways here. Seemed like he was all on his own as well. I wonder if it was the same situation that had the 31 sign. Yeah, he was already crashing in the middle of 4. Oh,
and then Ben Pierce getting into the back and finishing him off. But yeah, a lot of drivers looking loose off of turn 4. I mentioned Ed Robertson's. Oh, and he's still yelling on the radio and cursing a storm.
Wow.
I don't think he's liking the track at the moment because he had a similar incident earlier when I mentioned the same thing happened. He's just loose by himself, got a little tap by someone to finish him off. Oh, geez, he's still going, man. He's not a happy camper.
This is one of those moments when people ask me, do I run the radio on the broadcast machine? The answer to that is no.
Yeah. Only we had Eric. Eric, unfortunately, not with us tonight. It would have been perfect. I mean, he would have been very busy taking out the expletives because he's cursing a storm on the racing chat.
It would have been that expletive button. That's the only thing that would have been played.
It just would have been beep, 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 beep. Would have sounded like a telegram going through.
Man.
Like Morse code.
Yeah.
Big thanks again to Slinger Racing Graphics for presenting the 5th Annual Area Southern 500 as we work our way through our first yellow flag here this evening. And Jake Nichols is in command. A couple drivers hit pit lane. I'm actually surprised it wasn't more, guys, based on how abrasive this track can be.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I guess guys are feeling it's not worth it. I think, well, again, it's that that argument of track position, right? They're saying track position is going to be important. It's not impossible to pass here, but it's definitely difficult. I think a lot of people are just feeling it's not worth the couple laps fresher tires over losing a lot of track position, especially drivers that are trying to climb their way forward. So a couple guys near the back are saying, yeah, it's worth it because they're already near the back of the field. So everyone back from 29th coming on down.
Yeah. This is a racetrack where older tires are not going to be your best friend, no matter what the case, no matter if it's 2 to go, 5 to go, 10 to go. It's not going to help you at all. You're going to have so much wheel spin, and especially, like I said earlier, on the corner exits. I mean, we've already seen it a couple of times with Mason, Kane, and Shackelford tonight. And here's the sign from Mr. Michael Kern. I don't think we've seen this yet.
Nope. Since this is a throwback race, Finian requested Brittany Spears be our Grand Marshal.
I don't remember requesting that.
You were Spears,
I mean, I won't complain.
You're a Spears boy?
No, but again, I won't complain.
Well, we already missed that, so unfortunately. We have an
it's
onboard.
mid-2000s Britney Spears. It's okay.
Yeah, we have an onboard now, also from Bryce Senesac. I don't know whether we've had his on board previously, but he's got it now, and he's got triple screens and a nice-looking rig he's got. I think I actually used those rigs. SRO has the same exact chassis that they used at their
He's blinking at the same rate that Kevin Harvick is in the booth.
Yeah, and also it's a little sad that is now a throwback paint, but R.I.P.
Yeah, right? Fuel.
Yeah. Well, coming back to the restart, lap 16 after a single car spin. It was Skylar Shackelford that looped around. In this 200-lap race, we are 15 complete, about an hour and a half of racing remaining. Should we go green from here, there's a long way to go. Nichols chooses the outside lane. He's the control car for the restart. And field works their way out of turn 4 here at Darlington, the Area Cup Series Southern 500 back underway. Had an epiphany just now as I was looking at our digger camera on the turn 1 and 2. I have the capability and the ability to make an animation to be digger. or a variant of it, and I should do that. And I don't know why we haven't come up with a mascot yet to be the silly little groundhog that dives out of the way.
I was going to say, they don't use Digger anymore at all.
No, they don't.
Right?
And I feel like just like, what was it that just got Old Smokey or whatever, the Mickey Mouse on the steamboat, whatever it is?
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, he's now free public license. Maybe we take Steamboat Willie. He dive under the racetrack. We'll throw it back to 1940s Disney. What do you guys think?
I mean, hey, if you're prepared for a lawsuit from Disney, somehow, some way they'll find him.
Yeah.
Oh,
spin!
whoa,
Digger, look out! Cars crashing, and the 22 of DeLeo is in the fence. Yusuf Ghali as well. Caution is out for the second time. Digger is dead, and we're back under control of the pace car.
That's why they don't use Digger anymore. It's too dangerous. I mean, you just saw it on the live shot. The 22 was spinning right at him.
Oh, that was a
Had a little help from Newbigging in the 7-1.
big pileup down there. Yeah. Or maybe it's when you see Digger, it's 6 more weeks of winter.
I mean, it's 6 more weeks out the way.
Anyway, let's have another look at this again and see how this started. 54 and the 11. Oh, the 71 and the 22. So the 22 comes off the wall. And that's kind of what triggers this whole thing. Watch the 22 turn in. Or does he bounce off where the safer barrier starts? Then kind of across the nose. I wonder if netcode was at play there a little bit for the start of it. Comes back across the road. Ghali has nowhere to go, and then pow, in goes the 31. Mason Kane has had just a hellacious race so far. Wow, Tyler Nichols was close to getting creamed there. How about that?
Yeah, I think the onboard on Justin Bondurant will give us a good view of what exactly happened.
Not so good. And then Tyler Nichols diving out of the way. Look out.
Whoop.
That's the correct
I don't know if you saw that
sound
on the tail end of that Bondurant replay, but he had to gas it and smack the wall in order to avoid getting caught up in there.
Yep. Here's a look at it one more time. Yeah. Unfortunate. A couple cars deemed out. Looks like Douglas Newbigging has pulled it off track, and a handful more on pit lane, including Shackelford, Nichols, Kane, and Yusuf Ghali. Ben Pierce is down there as well. And the leaders still are not pitting, so they must feel like those tires are pretty strong. And Finian, every time we go to a road course or a track with high tire wear, the Cup cars don't seem to currently have massive tire wear like we are going to see, especially on Thursday night.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's gone. For now, Hunter, tire wear on the Cup car, something not. It seems like it's not wearing out as quickly as we would expect. Thursday and Tuesday, I do expect that we'll see plenty of tire wear. It just doesn't seem to be happening so far tonight.
Oh, we haven't had a long enough run to get it in yet, and Finian's back with us. But yeah, I think the longest run we've had is about 13 to 14 laps on that.
I threw a little bit too far back to the 1700s before electricity was invented for a second.
Look at
the pit crew on Yusuf Ghali's car.
I would say, what's going on there?
None of your business. What's going on?
That's how I was looking in Thailand. Not with those specific shorts, but
yeah. Just for everyone's knowledge, Finian just came back from a nearly 3-week trip to India and Thailand, and after about a day of rest / working, here he is. So can't judge his judgment anyway. So I shouldn't even be asking him any questions.
No, it really isn't that bad. I managed to get a decent enough sleep on we took 2 flights. We went through Kuwait Airways through Kuwait, and yeah, the flight coming back was like 13 hours. It was a long flight.
You fly through Kuwait?
Yeah.
Never be too sure. You roll out of turn. You never know. It's the state of the world right now. You can't know where you can fly.
Well, that's how I made it back.
I'm on a max 9 on Friday, so I might not make it, but we'll see. Green flag back in the air. Lap 22 of 200. Jake Nichols fires off. And the lady in black is back. A little spicy down the back straightaway. Almost 3 wide there as The 56 of Matheson thought better of it, and that was probably best.
Yeah, took a peek there trying to see if he can get past Matthew Bell. Decided to wait on it in behind. Seth Noel and Connor Kresick were both fighting for position. They sorted out. Whoa! The 67 DeLeo sideways, and DeLeo gets collected again.
Man, just not lucky for DeLeo, and we are still green.
Gonna come out?
No, I don't think so, because I remember this is one of those tracks where you wreck so close to the inside lane that it shouldn't be a caution.
It's the 67 getting loose, bouncing. Oh, man, that stinks for DeLeo, and Zogak got a big piece of that. So crash there, but we stay green. This is about to be a crash. Here comes the 13 of Cedric Hunter. The 30 of Miller split down the middle. His teammate on the outside swings around, and comes the 42, then the 8. Man, this is wild.
Swinging on both sides, trying to get position there. There's 51 Ricky Springer trying to get a spot as you look further up the order. Here's a battle for position. Kwame Scott trying to make his way on through. We'll get past Connor Kresick up to third for him.
Ooh, and car on the wall back there. It was the 87 of McKinney. I know I said I love this throwback, the junior throwback, but he changed that. And
I think McKinney was telling me in the chat earlier that his scheme wasn't working in trading paints tonight.
Oh, that's a shame. I saw it in the racing paints picture on the Discord channel on the area Discord. It was a 2014 National Guard throwback to Dale Jr.
Oh man, yeah, it's nights like that I'm often inclined to think it's my fault, but then everyone else's paint scheme's working fine. So it's just one of those nights. Connor Horn, he's getting busy now, working over the 32 of Vincent Cortez.
He's been busy trying to get up from 26th place. I think it was one of those drivers that didn't get a qualifying time down because he hit the wall. So been trying to make some hard work here through some of these yellows to get up through the order. Now up to 13th, and as you mentioned, in a battle with Vincent Cortez just ahead of him.
Yeah, Connor Horn, man on a mission, trying to get inside that top 10, closing in on the 32 of Cortez, who, along with his teammates over at Miller Racing, running the DEI throwbacks and running pretty nicely there in the 12th spot. And saw the hand behind the steering wheel for Connor.
Car on the wall hard on a turn 2. Douglas Newbigin pounded it. That was a huge impact there. Man. He walloped that thing. He nearly straightened out the Darlington kink.
Yeah, he was already really high. You'll see here, everyone coming down low off turn 2 is way too high and took a decent chunk of the wall, as you mentioned, so he's going to be hurting.
Nearly made Darlington symmetrical there for a moment. Gosh. Seth Noel and Jake Matheson trading spots, move the 56 up to third, and Okresic putting pressure now on the 1.
I was trying to see if he can get past Seth Noel holding steady here. A beautiful German Benson throwback, Valvoline. Love that paint scheme, one of my favorite Valvoline paint schemes out there. As Okresic's trying to muscle his way on through.
Indeed, on board with the 1 of Noel. There comes Okresic in the 09 Stewart Swagger Old Spice throwback from Slinger Racing Graphics. He's got 1 of 6 cars here tonight, and blinking in and out, but currently running inside the top 5. And as mentioned, those 2 up the road in second and third, the DEI cars of Kwame Scott and Jake Matheson. I know we didn't make picks tonight, guys, but I was going to go with the Kwame Scott machine just because it looked the best out of all the cars.
Well, let's make picks now, I guess, so we can get them in the points. I'm going to roll with Jake Matheson. I like the 56. I like that he's been so successful this season. I like that he's running third and moving forward.
All right, I'm going to go with the boring pick. 73 Jake Nichols. I mean, he's got the track record to go with it, so he's leading pretty decently so far.
Yeah, he's won the last 2 Area Southern 500s, and tonight the winner gets $70, $20 to second, and then $10 to third, so $100 total on the line for the first 3 positions, currently being held by Jake Nichols, Kwame Scott, and Jake Matheson.
Connor Horn up underneath Vincent Cortez for 12th place, and Ricky Springer and the fabulous Hudson Hornet right behind. Cedric Hunter fighting with Rafe Slade in the background there.
Tough battle for position between these guys in the midfield. Can't quite decide how they want to sort this out. Outer Shirt Jr. watching on from behind. Might get a decent run off. Ooh, a little bit of a touch to the door there with Cedric Hunter getting sent to the infield. We'll get back on track. We'll lose a couple spots.
Well, living up to the name on the car, lucky indeed that was just a mere skirmish off to the side and not a spin and a crash. So Cedric Hunter keeps it going. Meanwhile, in the back, there's Yusuf Ghali underneath Jacob Bell, looking to get around him for the 24th position. Ironically enough, Jacob Bell throwing it back to the 24 DuPont car of Jeff Gordon.
Another just infamous classic livery at 24. After the Rainbow Warrior years, this is the car that I grew up with.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually the first ever. Sorry, that's the first ever car he ran.
Oh, so this was
real
prior
life.
to the Rainbow Warriors, then. Not
Yes.
after. The other one I really liked was the 2009 variant that had the different colored flames.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite one, the orange, red, and black. Oh.
That was a great looking car. I always liked the Nicorette cars too, the green ones.
Yes. See, that's another thing too I miss, because they changed the flame. They kept the flames, but they changed the color. I miss those kind of variant paint schemes. You don't really see as much anymore because they're changing paint schemes literally every single race now.
Yeah, I really do miss that. That's one of those like subtle things that I don't think anyone saw happening in real time, but now you can look back and say, man, these cars really don't have primary sponsors like they used to.
Especially, I forgot who is it. I think the Menards car now changes, literally has a different paint scheme every single race. Whichever
That's Blaney,
product.
I think now.
Yeah, Blaney. Yeah. Crazy. So I remember seeing somewhere he had like 35 paint schemes over 36 races. I'm like, that's kind of impressive in a way. Whoa!
Behind Connor Horn and Vincent Cortez, a little bit of a wobble there as Ricky Springer drives into the shot here with his virtual reality. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Oh my goodness, he's almost leaning into the 32 of Cortez there through 1 and 2.
Riding in behind the 32 of Vince Cortez. Ricky Springer's come a long way up through the field from 31st up to 14th. So that 51 car's been making some work.
Ooh, just behind him, Scherer and Rafe Slade almost had it coming together. Just behind that, there's a car we haven't talked about at all tonight. David Weishart started 28th and slowly but surely making his way forward, but he's got a pretty fierce contention to work by. Passing has been historically a challenge here, but it seems like it's not been as big of a deal tonight. Mobility's been pretty strong. And guys, just for reference, we talked about the tires being rock solid here on these cars. We're only down 0.7 of a second after 38 laps. That is not the tire wear that we're going to see tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one of those things where it's not too surprising considering with the next-gen car we saw that tire wear is fairly non-existent with these cars at some tracks. You saw it at Charlotte last time we were out with these guys, and they went completely green the entire length of the race, and the tire wear, these guys are able to push their tires pretty long into the run.
In the meantime, you saw a pass
trouble,
for a
turn
second.
one.
Oh, no!
Big crash. Cameron Hearn and Ricky Springer are in the wall. And Springer is out.
That was a pretty rough lick to the outside wall. Amazed that car didn't have any decent suspension damage. He took a huge hit. And in fact, there's not a whole lot of damage at all.
Yeah.
Considering the impact he took.
I thought there'd be a lot more, but he just kind of got hooked in a similar fashion on a different part of the car to what happened with the 22 earlier. Before turn off the wall there pretty hard, and then
they're gonna touch right there. This is the force sends him loose, and he goes back in the 51 and turned him around.
Hearn was able to just grind it to a halt down there on the apron. Might be one that would have to look from high above to get a better perspective.
Looks like he goes to bump. Oh, sorry. It looks like he goes to bump Cortez, and then after that, moves the car to the right into the 4, and then he loses it, gets it back into the 51 of Springer.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. He just slightly moves to the right, bounces into the 4. He hits the wall, overcorrects, turns the 51 into the outside fence. Look at Rafe Slate. Rafe Slate splitting the difference.
Put that on the team.
Nice pass.
Rafe Splay. Rafe splayed out. Through the middle. Look at that.
See Spartan. Yeah, it looks like Race Controls agrees with their assessment. 51 given an EOL.
Interesting. I wonder if he will probably feel different about that.
Oh, he definitely does feel different, man.
Pit stops for the first time tonight. At some point, you're going to have to put fresh tires on, and here is everybody.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect time to come on down. 41 laps in the run, get some fresh Goodyears on your car, and everyone's off and away. Scott is coming through pit lane. It'll be Jake Nichols leading Matheson, Beckner, Knoll, and Mommy Scott. Ooh, I think Connor Kresick has gotten a speeding penalty.
Yep, dropping to the rear, and that's going to be a costly one. We're almost a quarter of the way done with this race. It's actually going by at a pretty good clip, and it's taken a lot of drivers. I mean, they're making passes. The mobility's not been bad, and you see Jeremy Miller following back there as well. But you don't want to get yourself back into a trouble spot and get yourself caught up in a wreck. Travis Beckner getting some spots on pit lane as well.
Kresick sped.
Is that the exit?
No, he sped on entry, I think. Or like near the beginning of pit lane. It's kind of weird. Because I was looking at him exit, and he exited kind of slow. I was on the entry, like right after they passed the cones, he gassed it up to like 47, 48 miles an hour. I think that's where he got him.
This pit lane is one of the most challenging in motorsports, under green in particular. Doesn't surprise me that you can see some mistakes under yellow as well. So we make our way through this race here, though. Race fans, make sure you head over to simwrapmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple and easy to use, so it keeps you more focused on the racetrack. simwrapmarket.com. They are a replay partner of the season, giving you all the ability to look back on the incidents that have happened so far, of which my bookmark list is growing at 42 laps into this 200-lap race.
Yeah, we still got a lot of racing. We're not even a quarter into this thing so far. Already on 3 cautions. We'll see how this is going to play out for the rest of these guys. Again, I think they're either... I can't imagine a lot of guys feel like they're in a hurry. I'm sure Jake Nichols will love for this thing to finish sooner rather than later, because he's been leading and dominating up there in that number 73.
Try it again. After our... How many cautions are we at? Third yellow. We're back underway, and the outside lane, another good launch. That's going to bring Seth Knoll right back to the rear bumper of the 73 into turn 1. Matheson's fighting hard on the bottom there, though, in the Miller Racing car.
Yeah, Blaze McKinney putting the number 9 into the wall a little bit on that restart, but he's going to dive down low a little bit, trying to get past Kwame Scott. He gets a little bit loose. Oh. Here comes Matthew Bell trying to make a move on him, and Vincent Cortez also trying to make a move in behind.
A lot of slicing and dicing there for that 4th spot on the racetrack, actually right behind them. Blaze McKinney 6th, 7th, and 8th. Bell and Cortez going at it, and now you see to the inside the 4th spot being held there by Travis Beckner, going back in line, but door-to-door in 1.
Yeah, still side by side there with Cortez. And a decent pit stop sequence, got well ahead of Connor Horn, who he was fighting with earlier. Connor went back a few spots in the pit lane, slide, spin, back straight away.
No.
Shackelford's in the fence, everybody scatters.
And we are green still.
That car is going to be big time damage with that impact. Just got loose out of the corner, and look at Cameron Hearn dodge that.
Some people might say you hit that wall a ton.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Oh, that was tight on a 2 between Beckner and McKinney. That was almost a crash.
Close quarters battling between these two. McKinney will lose the spot. Beckner up to 5th in that number 28 machine. He's trying to get in a hurry. I think he feels that something's coming. That number 28, he's one that he wants that track position. Further in behind, Connor Horn duking out Outer Shearer Jr. He will get up to 11th.
Yeah, that's 1 spot shy of cracking that top 10, being held by Rafe Slate in the 8, who you just saw him a moment ago go through the middle to avoid a crash with Ricky Springer. And now, moving a little further back here, Greg Mitchell on the bottom, getting passed on the outside by Yusuf Ghali, and possibly David Weishart's got a good run going in 3.
He sure does. Come from a long way back in this race. But Mitchell's going to throttle up mid-corner there, trying to make it hard to complete this pass. Ed Robertson watching from behind, 9th back to 17th. Has not been the night he's been looking for so far, to say the least.
He's had many comments to say about it. But he's been keeping it strong up inside the top 20. Whoa, he gets a little bit loose off the corner, though. As I say that, he'll get past by Mason King on the back straightaway.
Back up inside the top 10, a battle for position going on all board. The 8 of Matthew, actually the 8th spot held by Matthew Bell in the 9. You got Vincent Cortez up there running in the 7th spot, and a little further back, Connor Horn dove to the inside. Not going to get 10th from Rafe Slate, but closes back in line. And Ryan Hart's now under battle from Yusuf Ghali.
Yeah, losing some spots there. And Golly closes in and makes the pass on the 3 and moves on through. Seth Knoll is hounding Nichols for the top spot here, keeping him honest at the very least. And Jake Matheson is not too far behind, and I think the 56's patience tonight could be a virtue. He's got 3 wins on the season. He's got nothing to lose, so why not be a little riskier with the strategy? I think he's got the pace to back it up as well.
Yeah, I think for him it's just a matter of, do you want to push now? Is it even worth pushing now? We're just now coming to a quarter of the way into this race, so we have so much racing left to go, and he's up there with the leaders. Think of anything, might want to try to see if he can get past Seth Knoll. Was side by side a little bit earlier on, was trying to make a lane work. Knoll was throwing into a bit of a block, so he's kind of stuck back in third at the moment. Let's see if he can get a really solid run on Knoll.
Yeah, Matheson back in third with 3 wins on the season, most recently from Charlotte on the oval side of things. And Seth Knoll down 5 positions in the points because he missed that Charlotte oval race, but that's 4 top 5s to his name in 6 starts this season, and all right behind the 73 of Jake Nichols, trying to secure his 3rd straight Area Southern 500 victory.
Turn 4 back onto the front stretch, the 17, Edward Scherer Jr. and Curhan trading spots, and then here comes Yusuf Ghali down to the inside of the 54.
We'll get it done. Bob will hold exit, and we'll just narrowly get by the 24.
There's a 3 of Hearts now down to the inside, looking for a position from Michael Curran. Blinking in and out. I'm not sure if that, and they're going to say anything about that to the 3. We've seen a couple of cars blink in and out tonight, but Hearts going to settle back in.
Almost had a wreck further up. Connor Horn putting the 17 into the wall on the front straightaway. He almost got turned off the nose of him. Taking a look at a sim-rat market replay of what happened.
Ooh, that was tight. Right there. And the 17 jumped on the brakes and probably saved both of them there. We'll get a brake cut for you now, maybe not later in this race.
Battling going on back here. There's number 3 Ron Hartz who will defend from the 2, and then Yusuf Ghali will defend his position from Michael Curran. As they all somewhat single file out and go into a bit of a calm.
We knew that we would get some calm points in this race. It's just how it kind of pans out here at Darlington, but and we are finally seeing drivers start to stretch out a little bit, but there are still groups of cars, and when you get groups of cars, you get stack-ups that then can lead to collisions. So we're far from out of the woods yet as far as yellow flags are concerned, but laps are clicking down at a pretty good clip at this rate. Past that, the 1/4 mark here, and we're making our way towards the 1/3 mark relatively quickly.
Yeah, the thing is when you get these stack ups, everyone gets stacked up, and you got guys trying to take advantage of it. Like we're seeing right now, Connor Horn making the move on the Rafe Slate. Battle for 9th position between these two, and some door-to-door contact in 3 and 4, still dooring each other at a turn 4. And Slate's going to take the run off the corner, and then almost clear at 42. Connor Horn not giving up.
Yeah, no one's backing out of that yet. The 8 of Slate going to have a run off the turn. Oh, and the Scherer Jr. sideways through the middle, 1 and 2, going to keep it straight. Oh my goodness, he's going to lose a good bit of spots, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Matheson for second on Seth Knoll. He's going to complete that pass. Now Jake Nichols has unfriendly offense in the rearview mirror here.
And Yusuf Ghali and Edward Scherer Jr. going back and forth off who caused that. I was not too happy, of course, with the 17.
I didn't see that there had actually been any contact.
There was a very minor bit of contact because Ghali was looking to the outside. Here's potentially some contact here as Matheson throws his car in and will take the lead away from Nichols. That came out of almost nowhere.
The leader in the area Southern 500, ironically on lap 56. The 56 car of Jake Matheson going to pull through and lead his first lap.
According to the plan.
Yeah, it's exactly how we went down in the script.
Yeah, that was, he just made that look easy.
What happened is Nichols got a relatively poor run off of turn 2. Matheson got a great run, and then he used that run down the back straightaway to throw it into 3 and seal the deal. So Matheson saw the opportunity, and there's not going to be many coming, and he took it. So he will now keep the lead. We'll see if Nichols has anything to respond with as he's now finally getting pushed out of that lead position and see what he can work with.
And that's what surprised me is Jake Nichols doesn't get a poor run out of anywhere. And, and didn't get the good launch that he needed. Matheson quickly right by him, Hunter, and now Matheson stretching the gap up to 2/10.
going to try and set sail away from the 73, who's got the 1 right behind him. That teammate Seth Knoll, running in the 3rd spot. But back here, battle still brewing between the 9 of Matthew Bell and the 32 of Vincent Cortez. 7th up for grabs going into turn 1, and the 9 of Bell for the moment has it. Here comes Ada Slate with a strong run, but to no avail.
The exit of turn 2 is a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, a pissing match. You get to the exit of turn 2, and whoever doesn't give crashes, right? I mean, someone has to give at the exit of 2 if you want to stay full throttle. And if you both have to lift, you're both getting passed. So it is just one of those games that you have to play. And if you lose it, you all lose. It's like racing a train. If you tie, you lose.
Essentially, yeah, because he's driving in. The big thing, too, you and just running single file, the exit turn 2 is so important because you get a poor run on the back straightaway. Drivers in behind are going to take advantage of you, like we're seeing right now. Yusuf Ghali trying to take advantage of Rafe Slate off into turn 3 as he's trying to keep that car, that purchase point on the inside lane. Can't quite get there, so he's going to have to back off.
On board with teammate Connor Horn, going to go in a little tap going into turn 1. Horn's made a steady climb of just 1 spot shy of cracking that top 10. He's getting closer, and Ghali almost had a strong enough run, but up the road, oh boy, car going down low on the backstretch there. Towards the rear, that was Jacob Bell. Might have had a moment coming out of turn 2.
See some smoke up ahead. The Ada Race Slate loose.
Oh boy.
In 3 and 4.
This creates that stack up I was talking about earlier. One car gets out of line, gets shaken, shuffle around, and everyone's packed in a pretty orderly single file line. And as soon as you stack up that group, no one can see anything and runs into each other. Racing drops back to 15th.
Yeah, he ended up hitting the back of Vincent Cortez. I was just trying to check and make sure there was nothing that happened between those two. When thing went a little bit too far off into turn 3, and then some more contact here with the 8 and the 17. Evan Shearer Jr. gonna pull on off the corner, and Robinson gonna take advantage of that up to 16 for him.
Yeah, close call there for Shearer Jr. and Rafe Slate. While a little further back, just on the cusp of the top 20. You see the 51 of Ricky Springer there still going back on the racetrack. Got the 30 of Jeremy Miller, and now a little further up the road, battle for the lead once more. Jake Nichols applying pressure on the bumper of the 56.
Yeah, I thought Matheson was going to drive away. He has not done that. Nichols has kept him honest and actually run him back down. All the while, Kwame Scott and Seth Dole are trading spots for 3rd place. Oh, they're going to get together also.
Oh, and Seth Knoll going to lose another spot. Beckner going to get around the number 1 machine, so Seth Knoll dropping back to 5th. But not done yet. Blaze McKinney is going to be the next one to line up, going to throw it to the inside.
Got Relays making the charge inside the top 5. McKinney to the inside of Knoll, trying to stop the bleeding from happening, and it looks like it'll suffice for the moment. As Kwame Scott, Travis Beckner made their way past the 1, and now Jake Nichols closer on the bumper of Jake Matheson.
Cameron Hearn working over Connor O'Kresick. Remember, that was a pit lane speeding violation.
Caution.
And it's Cedric Hunter. 4th caution of the night, lap 65. Let's see what happened to the number 13. Garrett Grant, man, I talked about it. Is there contact from behind?
Why is it always this part of the track? This is the 3rd time this has happened today.
We see this a lot at this track. It's hard to tell if that 75 was involved. Just because the straightaways are very long and straight, and the cars are not set up to go straight. They're set up to go left. See a little bit of wheel cranked in it? And the slightest of upsetting can knock the car sideways, bounce it off the wall, and you're shaking.
Combined also with the fact that it's effective to the side draft these cars.
Does the 75?
I think it's a little bit of both. So the 5 goes to side draft, the 13 gets a little tap from Shane Wolf in the 75. That bumps the car a little bit to the right. So I believe that's what the cause of the caution.
I don't know how much that forced the right turn, but definitely didn't help. Pit stops again. Everyone's coming on down, and this gives the 56 a chance to solidify this lead. A couple of cars did not pit. Ed Robertson, Cameron Hearn, Jacob Bell. That's an interesting strategy.
Yeah, interesting indeed. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with it, but I don't know. I guess they're figuring that maybe they're gonna have to do at least maybe one more stunt. I would say probably 2 stops, right? So
At least.
Definitely at least 2. Some are
Yeah.
going to do 3. And there's Matheson winning the battle off pit road, and things got good there for the battle for third for a moment with Kwame Scott, but he'll come out third.
Now we'll see how things reshuffle when they get back to the restart and see what kind of pace these front 3 have if they decide to stay out. Or front 4, rather. Shane Wolf is out there as well. I think he rolled through. So he might want to go to pit road, but just missed the stall.
No, looks like he decided against it, so he's going to stay out there.
We haven't seen hugely significant tire wear, but that was a pretty decent green flag run, so I'm not sure that I would bet on all the pace in the world, but maybe it's worth trying now because we have so much time left in this race that maybe there's an advantage to testing that strategy now versus later.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely better to do it now than later, right? Because you don't want to. If it goes bad and goes horribly here, you have enough time, I would argue, to make up for it later on in the second half of this race. But if you're making the move with 50 laps to go, you don't have time to recover if things go south. So it'll be. I'm sure everyone's gonna be watching with intent to see what this top 4 can do with older tires than everyone else with fresher tires, because of course it is track position is going to be key at the end of the day with these drivers. And when it comes to strategy, you're going to want to be up here as front as much as possible when you can, because those fresh tires are worth anything.
Race fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings. So the field works their way through turns 3 and 4. Coming back to the restart, it's Ed Robertson in command of this one. And Cameron Hearn on the outside. First time we've had someone restart on the bottom as the leader. Let's see how it works. Green flag back in the air.
Solid jump for Ed Robertson is going to jump to the lead. Jacob Bell, Cameron Hearn going to duke it out for second place. And Bell not quite able to get up through the gears as quickly as he would like. And here comes the field. Jake Matheson going to storm past the 75 of James Shane Wolf.
Oh, big stack up here with Matheson leading the way for drivers with newer tires. This is not going to be pretty coming out of turn 4.
It's not pretty going into turn 3 either. This is a real mess.
And Matheson up against the wall with barely any room.
Crash,
turn 4.
Crash
in the background.
Ray Slate's in it. Casey Lakatos is in it. We're probably going to stay green.
We will.
And we'll bookmark it, look back on it later. And out of turn 2, everyone wiggling and wobbling again. 77 got displaced. Oh, spin, 454, Golly down to the inside. He's going to miss the wall and hopefully stay on the bottom of the racetrack.
And we will still remain green.
Dropping like flies. Oh, there they go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, massive wreck in front of the field. Blaze McKinney involved. They're piling in on the front stretch.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, gosh. David Weishart up in the air and on his side. My goodness, what a hit. It's calamity all throughout the front stretch and into turn 1.
Wow. That was a big one. Still smoke clearing from the previous lap's wreck. And it starts with the 77, gets into the 75. That's what creates that stack up. And then the 33 was in here, and they get it. Oh my, the 4, what?
Yeah, Connor Kruzek was saying in chat that he lost connection, or he said that he couldn't see anyone on the track, and he got off the gas, but of course he didn't know there was a wreck ahead of him. So we're driving like he didn't realize there was a wreck ahead of him.
I mean, yeah, that checks out. I mean, just flat-footed right through it like it wasn't even there. Holy cow.
Chugga choo choo. Holy cow.
Ugly. Now watch the 33. So he gets in here into the 77 really hard and then just gets absolutely just pile driven by the 14.
Yeah, at the same time he's hitting the wall, that's bringing the rear of the car up just a little bit, just enough for anyone behind to go ramming in and lifting that car off the ground.
Oh man, look at the 30 get through that. That's going to be, well, he didn't quite, did he?
I hit the wall in turn 1 after that.
Let's
That's
be good onboard, though.
Oh, almost made it. And I technically did.
wow. Great car control the whole time from Jeremy Miller.
Yeah, it's not all you can do in that scenario, huh? Lock it down and hope not to die. And then just to finish off how it started, because we didn't really get that covered in the other 15 shots we had. 77 into the 75, that's what turned them around. Jake Nichols just squeezed by.
Tough break for Blaze McKinney in the 87. It looked like he was about to mix it up with Matheson, Jake Nichols as well. And there you see the incident unfolding, and the 73 Nichols just squeezing by.
Oh, the 3 of Ryan Hart's, too. I think he ended up getting in the wall later, but that 33 took a heck of a look. Look at the 13 squeezing through there. A lot of decent avoidance in that one. The 14, obviously not so much, but seemed pretty consistent with what we expected.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised with what we just saw, because I think that clearly proved that old tire's not good. Ed Robinson's still out there. So I'm genuinely surprised with that, but I guess he figures it's worth it than coming in after pit and be back in 30th.
Well, he's got some
Yeah,
laps led under his belt, so that's going to be at least one bonus point for the 64 of Ed Robertson, but not sure what this is going to mean on the restart when the rest of the cars behind you, Kyle. They got fresher tires, and they're they're ready to get going back at it.
Yeah, they got a heat cycle on them now, though, so I'm not sure if it's... I mean, it's not like it's going to completely negate the advantage, but it's going to make it slightly less effective. Losing the sunlight here at Darlington as we approach the halfway point here in just a few moments. Green flag back in the air, lap 75. Ed Robertson leads the field back to green.
Question going to be for how much longer will he keep this lead, because everyone's going to be hounding him, especially that 56 of Jake Matheson, Beckner, Kwame Scott, Connor Warren, Vince Cortez all in behind.
Oh, spin again!
Kwame Scott getting turned around.
Matthew Bell involved, the caution back out once more. Connor Horn made a move to the inside of Kwame Scott, and not sure if Scott came down or if he just got tapped by the 42 of Horn, but that's exactly what happened. Risking it for the biscuit.
Back a little further. 42 down on the bottom here. Yep, just got into the back of him, turned him around, and 9 of Bell is the one that gets the other end of it. Well, and Sunlight made that a very pretty shot if it wasn't for the 99 sliding across it backwards.
And he will give it to Connor Horn, so he will be dropping to the back of the field.
And Robertson's going to hit pit road here. Well, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even bother, right? Pit road's closed also.
I'm not sure if that matters, Ted. I think he just wants to get out of the way. Don't want another calamity incident to happen on the front stretch again, like the caution before this current caution.
You know, it's almost like we could look back at history and know that that's a strategy that doesn't always work very well, but maybe one of these days it'll work. Can't know if you don't try.
I'm just laughing at hearing what's going on in the race check. Connor Horn and Kwame Scott are disagreeing on who caused that caution. And then they're getting more angry, and then I just hear, and then Ricky Springer just jumped on the radio. He's like, Connor, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Oh, man.
I know what it's like.
That truck says it all, I think.
Text him while driving.
Don't text the drug kids.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I thought he was parking it, but that was his phone, not a steering wheel.
I don't think we're parking. He's still got a really decent shot. Yeah.
Always interesting.
Well, Connor Horn and Kwame Scott are going to be nose to tail. I want to.
You know, I could totally turn on audio and Zoom and get the inside scoop. But I
You get a lot of
You'd have to do a lot of
curse words in
censoring
there too.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I think we
Oh, there-
just it's SimTV After Dark. I think we just let it loose.
The PG-13 broadcast.
I mean,
I mean,
do,
I'm fine with it. I don't think YouTube's gonna be fine with
I
it.
do mark it not safe for children. It means we got to do something bad to justify me hitting that button.
There's a good overview of all the DEI cars from
Yeah, what's
Miller
up with
Racing.
that?
Yeah.
Collusion. What's going on up here?
They're
Connor
just that quick, just like back in the early 2000s with DEI.
Connor adding in chat, it's not his fault. I mean, I have long since given up the blame game. So
I would say if anything it was closer to a racing incident, in my opinion, but my opinion doesn't matter.
all
So
those words are evil in grid life. Racing
Racing
incident.
incident.
You just can't have racing incidents when everyone builds their car in the garage.
In road racing, yes. In oval racing, I feel like you got a lot more racing incidents because
Yeah.
the nature of the racing.
I had his door. Well, because you dove down bomb him from 5 car lengths back.
He was just hard racing. I was trying to rattle his cage.
You rattled it all right.
Car
You
lengths
went
back,
through
that's
it.
a,
Connor O'Crescent. Just kidding.
if you're that far back, that's considered a Louisiana dive bomb because that's a big old send going in the corner.
Jay Ray Bay says, need one of the radioactive segments like NASCAR does. Oh boy, we used to do that way back in the day.
That took so much editing.
There was like 25 hours in those videos. So
yeah.
we did it,
It was
once.
a great video, but God, it was.
They were hilarious, but never again.
Yeah, because you had to sit through essentially like 3 or 4 different streams to find audio,
if
and then
we did
we
it
had
in
to
real
like
time,
compile it.
like if Eric Wineland did it in real time and got us all the clips, it would be half as hard. But I don't want to. No, we're not doing it. I have learned. Yeah, also ahead at the apex. Yeah, ahead at the apex because you came in from 10 car lengths back. You didn't use the brakes. Heard that so many times.
Well, we're inching closer towards halfway, Kyle. Not sure if we'll have another yellow in between now and lap 100, but hoping for a longer run this time.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty good pace going there in that middle part of the first quarter. Man, that's pretty granular. The middle part of the first quarter was pretty good. You know, long race tonight. Green flag, Matheson off and away. Looks like the 9 did not get going very well. That's going to stack up the inside row all the way in the back there.
Yeah, did you see them 3 wide entering turn 1, and that's always a recipe for disaster.
Looks like they're going to get through relatively fine throughout the first half of the pack. Second half, they're a little sideways, but nonetheless, they're still going strong. Michael Curran's got a door full of the 9. He's going to send it down in and keep him at bay. Here comes the 17th Ed Shearer Jr., who's had a handful tonight as well and has cracked the top 10. So is Mason Kane. A surprise top 10 run for the 31 of Kane, especially after his early goings.
Yeah, the recipe for disaster has a lot of salt in it, that's for sure. But Mason Kane, how about his night? Started with 2 consecutive spins on the same lap. Now he's back up to the top 10. And this is a recovery drive of the day so far, but a long way from locking it up and bringing it home.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of true. Just keep at it, and you'll get there. Took him half the race, but he's now up there in the top 10. There still has quite a bit of racing left to go to make something happen. You caution out use of Golly, dropping down the order.
Shane Wolf as well. He's stopped and bumper sliding down the banking there.
Perfect souvenir for someone in the virtual world to grab.
Looks like it started Kwame Scott and Garrett Moran. Oh. The others are just a victim at the end.
Yeah, my bookmark screen now has a scroll bar, so it's what tonight looks like. And looks like Scott. Oh, he's going to probably get the UL for that. And not much Shane Wolf could have done there, unfortunately. Well, what are we at here? 7? Yep, 7 cautions.
Oh, yeah.
64 of the 84 have been green flag laps.
At this rate, we're looking at what, 14 technically by the end of the night? A little over that.
15 or
Well,
16.
we're not. Yeah. Depends on the day of the week.
It is a Monday.
So that means double-digit figures.
All right. Well, if anyone's in the Las Vegas area and headed to the Consumer Electronics Show this week in Las Vegas, I will be there for Indy Autonomous Challenge at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, announcing some of that coverage there. There's no way to watch it online, but if you're in the area or live in Las Vegas or nearby, come on out to CES if you have the ability and at least hear me talk about AI race cars, I guess. One of the first questions I have to the teams is it AI technically, or is it just pathfinding? Because I don't know if that's AI.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's like AI in the true sense of what we consider AI. It's not like you can make. It's not like making its own decisions technically, right? Because it's really just following what you said, pathfinding.
It's so what I understand is that the teams have the ability to hit a button that says start and hit a button that says stop, and everything in between. It runs a pre-programmed sequence where at each lap it picks up 10 miles an hour. And then there's some speed trials that they have to successfully get through, and once they get through that, then they put them on track together. So I'm looking forward to it.
They're not streaming this, right?
Correct. They have in the past, but they will not be streaming it this year. But I do hear that there are some pretty cool announcements in regards to a next-generation car. I've gotten to see some of the slides about said car. Pretty interesting stuff. Or did I
looking through, actually no EOL for Kwame Scott says that the 5 will be given a drive-through if he comes back on track because he came down through the corner. That means determined that.
Yeah, I wanted to get another look at that while we've got a moment. Let's see. Look here. So up in the middle lane does start to come down. That is very granular, but yeah.
I did want to say that he came down, but I didn't want to sound too biased because that is the car that I picked to win, the 99.
Progress of this race has slowed somewhat. This middle section has been a little bit problematic tonight. Jake Matheson, though, clicking off laps led. He's led 19 now to Jake Nichols' 55.
Yeah, Nichols has not had a chance to really get back up there. He's been mired back in some traffic. He's now got Vincent Cortez and Travis Beckner separating himself and Matheson.
They've lost now 5 cars off of the racetrack.
Someone in the Twitch chat just asked, is that DEI running first through third? Yes. Yes, it is.
Like I said, collusion. NASCAR gives him preferential treatment because it's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team. Except NASCAR doesn't even know this race is happening and DEI's dead, so.
They've been very dead.
Don't let Teresa find out.
You know what a really amazing podcast is the Dale Jr. download. I listened to that extensively driving back and forth from Rochester to Chicago, and Dale Jr. is a American treasure with all the things that they've talked about and discussed and the insight he gives. And truthfully, I don't know that there's anything he could do more than what he's doing right now. He's just an awesome guy to listen to. Green flag, though, back in the air, lap 87 of 200 in the Area Cup Series Southern 500.
That's an off and away. Travis Beckner trying to see if he can get ahead of his teammate in the number 32. And just barely get by. And here comes Jake Nichols trying to take advantage here as both of these guys are side by side holding each other up.
Going to be an outside push for the 32 of Cortez as Beckner's trying to roll through the middle. Going to get close to making contact with his teammate.
Oh, it's the big one, guys.
Yellow flags once more.
At least 2 cars involved in this, and Justin Bondurant is one of them. Greg Mitchell is the other. There was maybe 2 or 3 other cars that were passing.
They started they started on the back straightaway.
Oh, Ricky Springer was in it too. Wow.
Yeah, Ricky Springer and Greg Mitchell made contact. That was the inciting incident.
Mitchell on the outside. outside here. Springer's going to come up the racetrack, gets into the 2, turns him around, and then Bondurant and the 14 of Okresic. Man, you have to feel for Okresic there. Remember the pit lane speeding penalty?
Oh, yeah. That put him back there.
That is a bummer.
Tommy Scott also got through that. I'm not sure if he's got minimal damage on the front of his car, but he snuck through that minorly unscathed.
Looks reasonably in one piece. And Lady in Black has been a bitch tonight, huh? 77 getting a free pass there on the outside. Jacob Bell.
There's a reason this track is called Too Tough to Tame.
I thought that was an old wives' tale. Just kidding.
Take a look at these drivers getting down the back straightaway, which used to be the front straightaway.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Sure did.
I forgot what year they changed it.
I want to say mid-90s.
Yeah, I remember it being like fairly recent.
I mean, I wasn't born yet. No, wasn't it like the 2000? I don't know. Someone will tell us in the comments.
mid-90s.
I'll Google it.
Fill our time with Darlington facts.
1997.
Okay, so I wasn't quite born yet.
I was almost born 1 year before.
Good old internet.
You know, I don't know that I've ever, in the last like 5 years, ever been longing for a bit of information for more than 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, if there's anything that I'm even remotely curious about, I'll Google it, and you can literally know the answer to any question you want in 5 seconds. And that
And
is
then you'll forget it 10 seconds later.
well, yeah, but it's terrifying. It's terrifying that you can't stump me because I'll just Google it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if ever we're having conversation and you're like, well, I wonder what, and you just Google it, and then your mystery and wonder is dead in 5 seconds. I mean, it's that's it.
Yeah, basically.
You're never left like, I wonder if. No, you don't have to. It's already
No
answered.
reason to wonder.
There's actually 27 Reddit threads discussing that exact thing with 500 comments apiece.
And now you got AI that can answer you too.
And I recently got back into a little bit of railroad simulating, and I quickly realized, because that audience is extremely old and extremely young. There's like nobody in between, right? It's either you're 5 or you're 95. There are forum boards for, sim railroading that like predate regular internet.
Really?
Like you'll get threads from like 1996, and you're like,
holy
what?
crap.
Yeah, it's wild.
Wow.
And you're like, this is still somehow relevant because I need this answer. And, or like, reading things from 2005 and you realize it's 20 years
Use
ago.
Open Rail, right?
Open Rails, it's finding less and less reasons to spend time in there. It's open source and it's free, but it just needs a lot of help to matter. But the other train sims are very bad, very money grabby, and my interest flamed up very quickly, and as quickly as it's flaming up, it's flaming out, because there's no good games to support it. We really don't realize how lucky we are in sim racing to have as many good options as we do. Here's my little tangent. Everyone's like, we don't need eye candy, all those games, graphics that look good, we don't need that. We just need good physics. I'm like, all right, well, still using 2D sprite trees. But anyway, green flag, lap 92. 8 laps to halfway next time by Matheson, Beckner, Cortez, Nichols. And Beckner, I think, is going to complete the pass here on Cortez, which he was not able to do prior to the last yellow.
Yeah, Mill Racing 1-2-3 at the moment, running really strong. Jake Nichols trying to break up the triplet up near the front of the field, but has not been. Had a decent enough run to be able to do anything with it. I see some guys get themselves sorted out midfield on back.
looking underneath Cortez for that third spot as the rest of the field works their way down into turn 1. Going to be close, but tucks back in line, and don't look too far back now because right behind that black 73 of Jake Nichols, you'll see now Mason Kane has entered the top 5 and is closing in on this battle for third.
Yeah, that's an incredible recovery for Mason Kane after the disastrous start to the night that he had. Running top 5 is way better, and just like that, that battle is over. And Blaze McKinney and Jacob Bell, who had just gotten the free pass, looks like his night might be over.
Blaze McKinney was the inciting party in this incident.
3 wide, middle, and gets tagged by the 22. Back across the road, and Bell nowhere to go.
As you watch from the run he got off of turn 2, got a massive run.
Shoots the gap here. Losing cars like flies at this rate too. That which should get us through this messy period here, but we are burning time like nothing else.
Yeah, so someone mentioned that that we're not even halfway in the race chat, and just Jake has to go.
Yeah, JT Poole just said Finian has said caution in the exact tone every time. It's like hearing Junior screaming, "We got to crash! We got to crash!"
I want to see like a half-an-hour compilation of YouTube. Just
there is a problems compilation for Rick Allen. Problems. Around goes. Around goes the 18. Around goes the 50. Problems.
Championship implications.
He has climbed the mountain of all wins.
Oh, God.
The wheel is still and perfect.
Was it Rick Allen or was it
That was Vince Welch?
Vince Welch. Oh, Vince Welch.
The wheel
is still and perfect.
He had a call at Pocono from the 2020 truck race where it was just, I don't even know. He was just saying words. Sheldon Creed splits the deuce and goes right through for the point. The lead is Sheldon Creed. Michael Waltrip's just laughing the whole time after that. We're almost halfway there.
Well, we're getting off topic. It's starting. This race is it's now 26th on back effectively, with one exception is out of the 36 car field or halfway.
Right, we're having historic to the finishing numbers back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I was like looking at like stuff for like, I mean obviously it's not NASCAR, but like looking at stuff for like Le Mans. It's amazing to me that like in the 60 there'd be like 13 people that would finish the race out of like 60 people that would start. Can you imagine watching that, a 24-hour race and like 13 people running at the end?
13 Chads. Bringing out a 2-liter Schweppes? That's a baller move right there.
I mean, it was a 2-hour race and he's already out of it, so I might need another bottle.
Is it
Schweppes? Another 2-liter.
It was Schweppes.
Schweppes? I don't know how you say it.
Schweppes.
I have never had that. It's always
I'm a Canada dry man.
Yep.
What is your go-to root beer brand?
Ooh, I don't really drink root beer, so.
Oh, Hunter doesn't drink soda.
I would say Mugs, I think.
Yeah, Mugs pretty like good. Barks.
Barks are alright. I think I go between those two. Who else makes root beer actually? That's
A&W.
A&W. A&W.
Oh, A&W. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Bryce. Yeah, that's you. You're on the camera.
My dad got me some craft root beers that were all made in the upstate New York area. Couple different 4-packs. Some pretty good ones in there. And some that were questionable. JT says Barks. Barks root beer feels almost as American as Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh, yeah. I love some good old Sweet Baby Ray's.
I have a frozen pizza, a couple pieces left over from the other night, and they're barbecue chicken ranch. Barbecue chicken? Barbecue chicken.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And it has Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on it. And I have not eaten dinner yet. It is now 9:19 p.m. local time.
Yeah, you're
And,
probably just have to wait for that.
Yeah, it's 52 more minutes if we go green from here, and we got to do some stuff after for a prep for Wednesday. So,
Yep.
come on, boys. Lap 98, Jake Matheson back underway. Here we go.
More jump for Travis Beckner. I think Vincent Cortez has a solid shot of clearing for second place. Indeed, he will before they even get to turn 1. They'll go on through. Not sure that was planned or not.
Oh, the
looks like it was planned. The 17 gets the wall. Jake Nichols trying to make a move on the inside, gets blocked by Beckner.
Wow, that was almost chaotic there for Scherer Jr. and Jake Nichols. Mason Kane, in the meanwhile, looking to get around Jake for the 5th spot. Trying to follow through on the outside lane behind him.
There's almost a
no.
miniature crash off of turn 1. Rafe Slate and Dom DeLeo.
Miniature crash. A couple kids with the die-casts got a little rowdy up there in the grandstands. Miniature crash. You can't have this many yellows. It throws my brain off into the silly world.
It really does. Where were we? What year is it?
Oh, God. Had to be one of the last 5. Or 6. Seth Knoll, by the way, back down to 8th. Remember, he just started up front, ran up front for most of this race, but he's starting to slip. Low as 11th. It's up from his minimum running order, but still not looking great at this stage of the race as we get to halfway. Next time by, the 13. Cedric Hunter.
Oh, my goodness.
Pretty wide.
Yeah. Yep, 3 wide. There they go. Yusuf Gall trying to take advantage on the inside. He has to back out. Nowhere for him to go. Cedric Hunter and Ricky Springer continue their duel for 11th.
Golly, Kwame Scott and Connor Horner are going to be in bad spots if this continues going into turn 1 because, my goodness, that was almost a wreck coming out of turn 2.
Halfway
Well,
through
Horner
this.
and Kwame Scott already have a history in this race.
Yes, they do. Halfway through this race, 100 laps to go in the area 500. Horn's got Bryce Senesac on his tailpipes now as well, so it's going to push him to move forward as quickly as he can. Bryce Senesac has a great view of this, but I would be watching this. This is like when you're following the dump trucks as they do not follow. This is one of those instances you don't want to be right behind.
Well, we're going to give a little bit of breathing room, especially the driver ahead of you makes a mistake, because then A, you're going to just go back, flying the back of him, potentially wreck yourself, and then you won't be able to take advantage of that, making you move up in turn 3.
Close battles here on the front stretch, and Golly and Springer still going at it. This is for 11th on the track. Cedric Hunter in the 13 right behind this. They're continuing to get close to one another going through turn 2.
They almost bounced off each other. Here comes Cedric Hunter into the mix, going to get the 54. It's shot down the back stretch and off into turn 3.
There's Kwame Scott entering the frame as well, going to be side by side with Cedric Hunter. Not quite able to get there. Cedric Hunter running the inside, a little bit loose off the corner. Slight touch with the 51 on the corner exit. They'll now duel it out for 12th place. Kwame Scott just trying to find a way to go, and Connor Horn right behind the 99.
Springer to the outside of Cedric Hunter, trying to keep him at bay for 12th on the track, and you mentioned right behind Kwame Scott now going to go to the outside with Horn behind, pushing Cedric Hunter, continuing to lose spots one at a time. And the 99 looking to continue to make his climb back towards the top 10, coming off of 4.
Well, these drivers battle up front. Things are getting pretty interesting behind Vincent Cortez, who's now 2nd. Travis Beckner slips to 3rd. Then it's Jake Nichols, who's been stuck in 4th since the restart. Edward Scherer Jr. just behind, and Mason Kane in 6th.
Speaking of Edward Scherer Jr., he was fighting with the 73. He was trying to get outside the top 3, and then he just backed out of it. He let Jake go. He's like, I ran out of ideas. You have a shot.
Oh, look out. Here comes Kane back to 5th on the bottom.
Yeah, looks like Kane will get that spot. 17 going to back out of that, and you're coming up ahead of them. Jake Nichols making a move on Travis Beckner for 3rd.
I feel like Jake Nichols has been stuck behind the 3 Miller Racing cars, aka DEI, because they've been running up front for the majority of this last 40 laps or so, it feels like, and hasn't been able to quite get around one just yet. Maybe got around Beckner a little while back, but once again finds himself in 4th behind the front 3 Miller Racing cars.
Yeah, it's one thing to get by a trio of cars. It's another thing to get by a trio of teammates. They're all collectively working together. So that's going to be extra hard to contend with here as we jump back to the Connor Horn Kwame Scott battle. They're back side by side again, and more contact this time.
Yeah, not a whole lot of loss between these two, I think, this race, and
so.
Still got over half the race left to race this out.
Now for 13 going into turn 3, Scott going to back off and give the spot to the 42 of Connor Horn. So Horn again continuing to climb back towards the top 10 as they inch their way closer towards Ricky Springer.
Laps clicking away now, and with the significant attrition we've seen, we could get some green flag runs in here. Could we see a green flag pit stop sequence even? That would really throw a wrench into things. Here comes Nichols down to the inside of Beckner here. Going to try this attempt again, but you know, you have to take these drivers one at a time because as a trio, they're much stronger together than by themselves.
Yeah, especially because they're going to be working together to try to keep this dominance under the front going as much as possible until we see potential green flag pit stops. Who's Yusuf Ghali slowing off the pace off of turn 4, I think collected the wall.
Yeah, let's get a look at that before we cut back away. Oh, he was sideways into 3 and just chasing it.
And watch right here, violent right turn to the wall. Lost quite a few spots from that, so he's going to drop back down to 17th.
Matheson, no one's been able, Hunter, to get away, right? I mean, even Jake Nichols wasn't able to really drive away.
No, now he's trying to get fourth back from Mason Kane, who's made that climb inside the top 5. Gonna have a good run here. Someone's gonna have to back off, and it's gonna be Jake Nichols. I mean, Kane might have tapped the wall there on corner exit, but the 31 scooting by the 73 as he's fighting that car on the inside.
Yeah, that was a big wiggle there for the 73, and had to give it back up, drops to 5th. Going the wrong direction than he was trying to go. Long straightaway. You know, as asymmetrical as this racetrack is, it really does look the same off of turn 2 and turn 4.
Yeah, it really does the right angle, and definitely does blend with one another. You know, they're two very distinctly different corners with the way they run. Look at Ricky Springer in the 51.
Yeah, my philosophy is that turn 1 and 2 are wider because they hit the wall more. They just kept making it wider until they stopped hitting it, but that's how they ran out of room on the property. It wasn't a fish pond at the other end, it was because they ran out of room extending on the one end. Make facts with Kyle. Gotta calm down here at the front.
Oh, don't do that.
I was getting bored. We hadn't had a caution in 7 laps. I'm just kidding.
How many are up to?
Let's start the caution clock
legitimately lost count.
We're at 8?
9? 9.
Yeah, okay.
9. We're almost in double digits.
I was going to take 100 we're going to be double digits, so that means we're definitely going to have one more.
Yeah, bring the caution clock out, boys. 20 minutes. Set the timer now. That was the worst idea that I've heard.
It's funny. It sounds like such a stupid idea. You wouldn't think they would actually do it, but they did it in the Truck Series.
I mean, the stages are kind of that, but the stages
I think that's what essentially
feel...
evolved into that, because they were like, yeah, we can't do the caution clock because everyone hated it. We'll just make mandatory cautions.
Yeah, I mean,
at
some
specific intervals.
They accomplish basically the same thing, but without seeming quite as gimmicky.
Well, just as gimmicky.
But just as gimmicky.
The caution clock walked so stage racing could run.
Caution clock got rudely dragged across the pavement because nobody wanted it there.
Slow.
They dragged it out of the building.
You know what? I think there were only 2 races where the caution clock happened more than once. Like,
yeah, but
there
it was
were 2 races where it came out twice.
The fact that it is even implemented.
Yeah, I was going to say something about it. This might be too controversial to say on air, so I don't think I can. I'll have to share that joke privately later.
No, I can't wait for that.
Just remind me, because I'll forget if you don't. I would say there's all sorts of philosophies that are bad. They don't necessarily have to happen to be bad. They just have to be thought about to be bad. Anyway, carrying on.
Here's what Mace Kane's going to do now that he's up and he's got the bullet in the gun now, leading the charge, trying to break up the Miller Racing trio up near the front. We've seen Nichols try again, not able to do anything. So now Mason Kane, the one to lead that charge, but doesn't look like he's really got anything in particular. He can get a run decent here and there, but Beckner's been doing such a good job at defending. No one else has been able to really make a solid move.
It's just been such an unlikely drive for the 31 of Mason Kane. We thought that his race was over lap 2, but it was not. board with Travis Beckner. He is focused again. We pointed out his wheel stand. Someone's got to get this kid to glue it down, man. That drives me crazy how it shakes around like that. Imagine how dangerous he would be if he had a wheel that was properly tacked down.
Yeah, really, because can you imagine how much force feedback he's losing from it just like shaking the stand rather than his arms?
G29 is probably not a lot, but still.
I mean, still, what little is there he's losing out on.
Give this kid an AccuForce, he would be dead. Haynes got Nichols. Yeah, back down to the inside again. Nichols slideways, and Seth Knowles back in the party. Remember, I mentioned earlier he was dropping back to the tail half of the top 10, but back in the mix.
Ooh, Vincent Cortez in the wall, a little bit loose. Here comes Travis Beckner taking advantage of the situation. This could be what they need. Cortez gets passed by the 28. Mason Kane going to go to the inside of the 32.
And they're 3 wide in the background with Kwame Scott getting split. Still 3 wide into turn 3. That popped off pretty quick.
Wow, Cedric Hunter running way down low to keep that move going and will secure it and up into 13th for him.
Close quarters racing there, and Kwame Scott getting away with that too, but Vincent Cortez coming through. Actually, I should say falling back down to 4th. It's Beckner moving up, Kane up to 3rd. They're going to shake Nichols now, looking to continue to send the 32 towards the rear. Side by side going into 30.
That's the pass he really needs to make here. I think the 32 is going to be struggling now, sliding those tires around. We're also now to the point where we're about a second off of fresh tire pace, and we're 54 laps into the stint. We had a lot of yellows here, Finian, but pit stops are going to be happening pretty shortly, and pit stops here are really, really challenging with that pit lane entry so far to the inside.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really hope these guys practice it, because if you didn't, you're in for a big wake-up call, because you can lose a whole lot of time trying to struggle to get down a pit lane, especially if you miss it, you're going to lose a huge amount of time and get taken down out of the order, out of the running for the win. So that's something these guys have probably got to start thinking about here as you get later on in this run. Vincent Cortez, you can still see struggling, trying to keep up with everyone else. Over here, Junior Connor Horn flanking him in behind.
Words are tough, and so is his racetrack as Connor Horn. I don't know if we saw that through turn 4 there, Kyle, but he got super loose there on the exit, and you just saw it again on his onboard going into turn 2. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes through turn 4 this time around as he's back inside the top 10.
Got the patent pending cat cam there in the background as well. Bottom left. Mr. Fuzzies or whatever his name is. Definitely not that. But
Mr. Mom.
Nick Matheson leads this race by 0.2 of a second over teammate Travis Beckner. Connor's smiling. I wonder if he heard my Mr. Fuzzies comment.
I'd be surprised if he's listening to this entire
I would not
time.
be. The kid texts while he drives. I don't think he has any care in the world. Working over Edward Scherer Jr. right now for 7th.
Hey, he's been still trying to climb up from that EOL earlier on. He made it back to 8th. Still very much within the running. He's only 2 seconds back behind the leaders. Of course, got to pass a couple guys to get up there.
Jay Ray Bay in the comments, spinning with a miniature stroke after calling that miniature crash. Yeah, there in turn 4.
So we'll call the miniature ambulance.
God. you can't have a long race with a bunch of yellows in the middle and not expect us to get giddy up here. One of these days we'll do have everyone take shots every yellow and see how we're doing. That'd be fun.
Oh, God.
Would you do that?
Imagine Martinsville. Oh, God.
Would you do it?
Oh, no.
I would do it.
You would do it?
I would do it.
Hunter, would you do it? You drink?
Yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
All right, next short track race, we're drinking shots every yellow.
God. You really got to keep an ambulance on standby for that.
I just have a feeling people are going to we can't tell them what race it's going to be, though, because then they'll purposely...
Oh, yeah, they're going to just throw each other into the wall.
Oh, that actually sounds really fun. When's our next, Hunter, what's our next short track race? Oh, Connor Horn sideways.
Oh, my goodness. Great googly moogly. Connor Horn's keeping that car straight. I will do that information looking for you right now. Next short track race is next week.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, I'm not going to be there on Monday. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday. Where are we on Thursday? Oh, Richmond. Let's do next Thursday.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. We've never done that. We've talked about it for a long time.
love how it's, oh, we won't let them know because then they'll just wreck a lot. And then 5 seconds later, we're doing it next time. It's like, oh, sweet.
It just kind of sounds like fun, doesn't it? Maybe they'll forget. Connor Horn on the outside here, chasing Vincent Cortez and Michael Curhan, who we haven't talked a lot about tonight, right in the middle of this scrap here for 7th.
He's been fairly quiet. The first half of the race was very mediocre. He's outside the top 10 for majority of it. Now I think through the smoke, he's kind of found a way to get on through and finally found the pace now that the sun's gone down and he's up into 7th. Get past Sure Jr. up into 6th for him, and I think has a clean shot at the leaders.
Throwing back to the car he ran at last week's race in Charlotte. Running relatively calm for the most part. Hasn't been in too much issues tonight. Been a calm, cool, collective kind of night for the 24 of Curran as Cortez is 8th. Connor Horn still making the climb inside the top 10. And Ryan Hart's in 10th. How about that climb up for the 3?
Yeah, working it over. You said that so calmly, I thought you were right. I was like, wait, what did he run last week? Had me fooled there for a second. The nighttime has cooled the track, though, and with that, we've seen pretty much 30-lap green flag run, and most of the field is almost 65 laps into a run, so pit stops are imminent. And if they can go another few laps, they'll go to the end with just this one last stop.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where everyone's got eyed at the moment. I think we've seen it calm down a little bit. I think now it's part of just making on through, though. I say it's calm. Jake Nichols is a little bit sideways trying to fight with the 31 of Mason Kane and the 20 of Travis Beckner.
Tried to squeeze up there on the outside, almost got squeezed too much. Mason Kane takes the spot, and Beckner might give this one up too.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he doesn't want to let Nichols on by. He's gonna fight it hard. Here comes Seth Nolan behind. He decides not to make it 3-wide, but a bump back to his teammate in the 73.
Look at the
Bill
focus.
door-to-door for 3rd. Oh my goodness, yeah, the focus is insane on the 28 of Beckner, keeping it tough on the outside of Jake Nichols, trying to keep that podium spot alive. Meanwhile, Seth Nolan going to give a little bump to his teammate going into turn 1, try to keep him on the inside of Beckner.
And
he jumped it, but there's a caution.
Connor Horn and Cortez.
Oh no!
Gets clobbered. Ouch. Had a good time for the rest of the field to come to pit lane, but ow. What happened here between, who was the...
This is an interesting one. This is between Connor Horn and Vince Cortez.
Oh, man. Was there something that led to this?
I don't know. It almost looks like that, right? Because the way the 32 ran the 42 down the straightaway almost seems like there was something, but I think it was just trying to defend. Didn't look like there was anything in particular before that.
Right there. A little bit of a touch. Maybe that's what did it.
Again, that was a fairly few touch.
And then Ed Robertson.
Cortez went down, Horn went up. Like one of those deals.
Yeah, Robertson not happy with that contact.
Yeah, he was doing his best there, but couldn't miss it. All right, so whole field's going to come down for pit stops, and this could be the last one. But guys, we had a lot of yellows in that previous stint. But can we go green from here?
Well, we'll see. Everyone's going to have fresh tires, starting to run out of time. I don't know. It sounds kind of like a recipe for more cautions.
Well, we've cracked the double-digit marker, so anything's possible at this point.
Well, pit stops are happening. Race fans, no need to fear winter. Oh, there's a missing comma. no need to fear winter. No need to fear, winter is here. Bundle up this season with shop.areairacing.com and shop from our new selections of champion hoodies, jackets, and sweatshirts. Easier to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. That's shop.areairacing.com. Nope, wrong place, Hunter. Right here.
We'll have 2 commas for emphasis. Actually, you know what? No, 3, because we're doing it for Dale.
That looks like an ellipses.
But yeah, new items on the area shop, and
you guys got tank tops. It's like been 45 degrees here in Chicago all winter.
Oh god, I need a like a winter coat. Look, let me tell you, coming from 90 degree weather to 30 degree weather here in New York is a big change.
We got plenty of new hats, hoodies, t-shirts, some Brad Slaughter gear, Bryce Senesac gear. You got Miller Racing, Some more Allen Elwood merch. Got plenty of new shirts coming out. Also some interesting
umbrellas, flip-flops.
No, we're getting there. We're getting there. Not quite yet. It's still a little bit too early for that.
Part of the reason I got sent back to the Stone Age is because I was running a heater, a little portable heater. It was so cold. So that's what caused everything to go out.
When I moved to this new apartment, it has central heating and air, which my previous apartment had in-floor heating, like in concrete. They ran loops in the floor. It was really nice.
You have in-floor heating?
I had my old place. I did.
What?
And yeah. And then this building has just central blown air, right? So it blows hot air around. But it gets pretty cold in between the heat cycles. But anytime I'm streaming, I'm hot because this room has two massive.
I was going to say you're running two gaming computers at like full tilt, so in a small room. So like you just have a heater with your computer.
Do a little inside sim TV here. So ignore the stuff in the corner. Oh, you're not going to be able to see this, but. Okay, so there's the one PC. Underneath that directly, there is another PC.
Yeah, you can see the RGB from it.
Yeah, glowing on the ground. And those are just inches from me. And on the other side of me here, my trusty candle, Apollo's hanging out. There's my old webcam in the corner there, sitting on the floor. There's an elf hat, don't ask. And
don't ask.
Don't ask, don't tell. And I did get some ideas for the backdrop here, so that should get done in the next couple of weeks' time. But anyway, let's head back to the racetrack. As we get one to green here, Matheson and Kane are going to line up on the front row for the restart.
Yeah, Mason Kane, this has been a phenomenal comeback for him, right? Because he's kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to think of the word for it. There we go. Exceeded our expectations. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with that word. Because he was I was expecting to run around top 10 maybe. Then he run into the top 5. Now he's up in second. Potentially has a car good enough to fight for the lead. We'll see what this fresh set of tires is going to do for him.
Also,
do anything with it.
I just have to share this. This is a product I enjoy. It's not sponsored. It's Philomil candles. The bottom has a hole in it, and there's tins. So when you're done with the candle, you just pop the tin out. You can recycle the tin, and you're not throwing out candle jars every month.
There you go. Product placement.
Philomil Co.
Yes.
Same with the
Not a
environment.
sponsor. Yeah. I mean, that was my justification. It's a subscription. You can get candles sent to your door every 3 months. Anyway, coming back to the green lap, 137. There's still so much racing left to go. Green flag, Jake Matheson, Mason Kane back underway.
Solid jump for the 56. Ooh, Seth Knoll a little bit loose in turn 1, getting up to speed. Mason Kane able to stay ahead of the 28. And we're right on to second place. See if he can have any sort of shot at Jake Matheson as Jake Nichols back in 5th.
Yeah, Beckner gave Kane a run for his money there in the middle, 1 and 2, but to no avail. They'll settle in the 3rd, Knoll in the 4th. Nichols holding that 5th spot. Back in the background, you see Jeremy Miller, Matthew Bell going at it for the 9th spot. Rolling into turn 1, Bell to the inside, Miller on the outside, going to keep that run going.
Tyler Nichols, we haven't really talked a lot about him since the start of the race in the time ride. That Nichols boy, 13th after starting him back in 30th. Oh, Travis Beckner, I saw big corrections, and he is in the fence.
Oh, and he's going to be dropping down the order. Back to, I think, around 10th is where he's going to end up after some contact with the wall, and had some help entering turn 3. Got turned off the nose of Seth Knoll.
Oh.
Right here.
I think is there more trouble here? Yep.
Oh, I think that was
caution behind him. And there's a bunch of cars trying to hit pit lane, so I don't know where this yellow came from.
No, actually, it wasn't retaliation. It was contact with Seth.
Are we green? No, we are green. What?
We're yellow.
We're yellow. The flag's not waving. Oh, I'm in replay mode still. Gosh. I was trying to figure out what was going on. That was so confusing. What just happened?
Have you ever?
Yes,
so
I've ever.
confused. All right, so. This was. All right, there's the 13. Got into the 28. Oh, that was the crash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big one off turn 1 and 2. Completely blocked the track. Bunch of cars going there. You see Connor Horn down to Leo, Kwame Scott.
I thought everyone was coming to pit lane because I was in replay mode and I couldn't see the crash. That was a big one. After such a good night. Now Connor Horn's in it too. But I wanted to go back to the initial incident. We were trying to look for that when I noticed that all was breaking loose.
And so this is coming off, and watch the run off turn 2 for the number 1. Gets a huge run, 28 not so much. And of course he goes to the inside, and off the nose of the 1 goes 28 into the wall he goes, and then he gets swarmed.
Yeah, and as he got swarmed, that's when the 13 comes down the inside here. And up the racetrack, into him, back across the road, pile driving 41 and Tommy Scott, and more. This has been a attrition-filled race.
Yep, well, everyone's been earning their Darlington stripe. And this one's probably going to be earning a piece of the wall, because there's been a really heavy contact with the wall tonight, leading to a high attrition rate. Everyone from 25th is retired. I think they actually may want to add that to 24th. Again, Robertson's called it a night. He's been in pit road for 7 minutes. Might be adding a couple more after that last wreck.
Yeah. We are closing in on 2 hours of stream time with a half hour of racing still yet to go. Hold on. There's a lot of people interested in the candle thing. Let me go back and explain this again. There's enough people asking about it. Phil Mill Company. It is a subscription, but you can do a one-time purchase. Your box comes with the candle holder, which is a nice ceramic. You can get it in one of 3 colors, and it comes with 3 scents that you can choose, and then you can choose how often you get a refill. Or you can just get the one-time purchase and be done.
How much is the subscription?
So you can get as many cents as you want, but I get 3 every 3 months, and it's $15 a cent. So, which is I can't like a nice candle. And these are soy candles, so they won't. You can't like.
And the candle lasts a month.
Ish. I mean, if you burn them every single day, you can get through them in like a week. But for several hours, which I do a lot, I burn them a lot. But there are soy candles, so that the cheap $5 ones that are big you can get at Walmart that I always bought before. Those are really bad for you to burn inside. These are not as bad, and the scents are.
Why is
that? Because the other ones are not soy, and soy is good.
Well, why is it good though?
I don't know. Because it's better for you. It's organic or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Vegan. Who knows, dude? I don't know. All I know is that I've been told that.
I would hope the candles would be.
Yeah, I mean, look, they used to burn tallow, didn't they?
I mean, yeah, but I know we're throwing it back, but I think that's a little bit far.
Yes. Here's my beef tallow candle.
Burning whale oil.
Please date me. Yeah, whale oil. Burning a whale oil lamp in my living room, like it's 1800. Yeah,
I could have used a whale oil candle when I was trying to go, because I literally when my power went, I lost all the lights in my basement. So, I was walking blindly, and I had there were suitcases around the basement from when we came back, and so I was trying not to bump it on a trip.
Yes, but the point of the subscription thing is that you can get it any amount that you want. You don't have to do it every month. You can do it every 3 months. You can do it every 6 months. So you can kind of do it at your pace. But I like that it's more sustainable, and the candle holder is very nice, and it comes with a nice lid, so to put it out, you just put the lid on. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, not a sponsor. Maybe there's a market for whale oil candles. Maybe I should make that.
Oh God.
That's how I'm gonna get canceled. Start a whale oil candle company. Green flag, lap 144, 29 minutes to go.
That's then Kane off and away. Seth Knoll immediately trying to get on the jump. He's not wasting any time. We talked about him being a little bit out of this race for a while. He's back in and up to 3rd.
And rolling through. Oh my goodness. Here comes the one of Knoll looking to the inside of Kane for 2nd.
Yeah, typically when you thin the field out, people get more aggressive, and there's contact between 2nd and 3rd. Knoll and Kane side by side out of 4.
Nowhere Mr. Nice Guy for Seth. Knoll is trying to muscle his way to the front. Kane not giving up, though. He's got a really good run off of turn 4. Going to try to carry it through 1 and 2.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and they around.
Knoll into the wall. Kane with him as well. The caution's going to come out. Look out. Kane in there with Sogak. Kwame Scott, race slate involved.
Boy.
And another one gone, and another one gone.
And 2 good cars, too. Mason Kane
out.
That looked very similar to real life cup racing with Ross Chastain and Kyle Larson.
Yeah, one kind of used him up there a little bit, didn't he?
I mean, I think Noel was just putting it all on the line. He knew that if he can get past now, he's going to have a much harder time trying to have any sort of shot at the 56 or later on. So he's willing to lay it all out there.
And he did. Sogak just blindsided there. Oh, and then Bryce Senesac gets in at the end. He almost had it all missed. Hungry, man.
Uh-oh. Don't think Senesac's hungry anymore.
I mean, looking through the field for what you can eat, I guess you can eat Rick's hot sauce. See Tide
you could
Pods
drink
too
it.
if you're into that.
Oh my goodness, look out. Going on the pit road. Yeah, the 14 of Crescent. Oh, he's about to hit the barrels going on the pit road.
He's 27 laps down.
There's no quit.
Newbegink's 29 laps down. He's also still out there.
I mean, at the rate we're going at, he's going to be able to, I think, get to 23rd, potentially, or 24th. How many cars are out?
Yeah. Oof. What else do I have in here that I can talk about? I'm just kidding. Oh, I just noticed, if anyone noticed a bottle on the floor in the pan around, an empty bottle, that is not a beer bottle. I don't have a problem. It's a root beer. It's a root beer bottle. I was talking about the craft root beer earlier.
Yeah.
My cat knocked
was
it off.
that it?
Yeah, my cat knocked it off the desk. And it just fell in a place that I didn't
Steve,
see.
you didn't say you had a problem. I wouldn't assume you had a problem. But like, admit that you don't have a problem. I think you have a problem.
I don't even have beer in my house right now. Because I drank it all. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I don't really buy beer. Oh, man. Anyway. This has been a grueling one tonight, guys, hasn't it? Holy cow.
Yeah, it's been a long one. It's been 2 hours, you said? You've been streaming for?
2 hours and 4 minutes with well over a half hour still left to go at this pace in post-race. The previous 2 seasons ago, we had a 2 hour 57-minute broadcast of this race.
Oh, wait.
Guess we're on track for that, I think, right?
A little quicker than
Kinda.
that. As long as we don't have a full divulsion into the medium section of the middle section of the race. I like my race is medium rare. What?
More of the ends. I said more of the later section of the race, kind of out of the middle.
It was the halfway part of the first quarter, if I recall.
The quarter mark of the quarter mark.
Yep. Some might call that an eighth. Like I said, I don't have a problem. No one got that joke. Dang it.
I got it.
Okay.
I just... I didn't want to dive into that topic.
Lights are out. Re-racking, restacking. Jake Nichols back to the front row for this restart. Is it about time for him to return to the lead? He led the opening 55 laps and hasn't led since.
Yeah, how many has Matheson won now?
Probably similar at this stage. 83, wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it was more because he's been, really after Nichols took the lead, had the lead taken from him, Matheson's been leading pretty much every lap since then, so we'll see now. The Titans up near the front of the field, about a quarter of the race left to go. I think we're going to have a duel on our hands here.
He's had the DEI cars of Mason Kane was a paint scheme with the Miller Racing cars of Vincent Cortez and Travis Beckner, but those guys have all since wrecked out. Some might still be on the track, but here comes a restart with Nichols now to the outside of Matheson.
Michael Curhan's up to third, Edward Sherritt Jr. in fourth, Ryan Hart's back there in fifth. Different group of guys that was up here than about 50 laps ago. 51 to go. Green flag. bunch of cars peeling off to the apron there. Tyler Nichols is one of them.
A lot of damage cars getting out of the way, so everyone else can race on. Jake Nichols, speaking of which, racing his way around every to secure that second spot. And behind them, there's Matthew Bell side by side with 13, Cedric Hunter, trying to take over 7th place.
Still looking to get that run up on the outside of Bell, but to no avail. Car might have scraped the wall back there real close to it. Was Kwame Scott, the 99, who's now cracked the top 10 after being involved in some of the melee over the last 50 laps or so. On the bumpers, finger for 9.
There's a lot of drivers that have been involved in melees at some point or another, but they've had enough time to rebound. Mason Kane has done the full circle where he had issues at the beginning, then rebounded, and then got crashed out again.
There's been quite a few drivers that have rebounded with something tonight because of how long this night's been, and now everyone's got a little piece of damage from something. I don't think any car is still clean anymore.
Rafe Slate, he was in the wall a couple of times earlier tonight. He's back up to 12th. With Dom DeLeo right behind him and springing to the inside is Seth Knoll, 3 wide down into 1.
It's getting ugly here. Jordan or contact with the 8 and the 22. Still contact the 8 in the wall. He's going to spin off on turn 4 and caution. No.
What? No caution. Your genuine one was very funny.
He spun on the racing line. I'm genuinely surprised by that, but nerd.
That's like when NASCAR gets tired of the yellow, so they just stop hitting the button.
That's the type of race it's been.
I mean, we've lost almost half the field. So Jake Nichols now settling in to run down Matheson out front. 10th and a half back. Remember how easily Matheson went by Nichols earlier in this race? We'll see if Jake can repay the favor.
Yeah, I think it was a perfect storm. I think Matheson just caught Nichols a little bit sleeping and a little bit off guard. Took advantage of the situation. I'm sure Matheson's on full guard right now, trying to make sure he nails his exits, because that's going to be the one thing that puts him down at this point in the race.
Oh, trouble!
Uh-oh.
Front straightaway, caution. Ryan Hartz and Jeremy Miller.
This started with the 17, from what I'm hearing. Off of turn 4 right there.
Yep. Oh, man. Oh. Got about as many cars involved in that as I think you mathematically could. Yeah, 3 is just a victim of this, I think. Tried to get away from it, but couldn't.
And yeah, I mean, nothing he could have done. He's just faster to that point. Wow, look at Cedric Hunter leaving tire marks, trying to swear around that. Got to ride on board with him.
He flew that crashing plane all the way down to the ground, didn't he?
The Max 9.
Oh,
737 Max 9.
Too soon. Haven't even done the flight yet. Oh, God.
Woo! It gets always really scary when you lose the back end of these cars. It's because at some points it's just almost impossible to save it, but great car control there.
The Aflac car got out of the way.
I miss Aflac as a sponsor. That had some of the best ads.
What was their saying?
Flag.
Aflac. Whoa. Pit stops. Where did Matheson come from? Idaho to make that pit stop. Where was the commitment cone there?
I'm pretty sure he passed it. Oh no, he's got an unsafe entry.
Yeah, that was going to say.
Oh no.
Wasn't pit lane, the pit road also looked closed, but must not have been if everyone came down. The lights
it was
were
definitely
red.
open. Yeah, it was definitely open because everyone came down, so I'd assume it was probably just up there with the lights. Kevin, fix that.
Jake Matheson live tweeting the penalty.
Yeah, I heard on the radio, I just heard Jake go, he's like, since when is that a penalty? And then everyone's like, always.
This is a live look at the sim room of Ricky Springer. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Has it been like that, or?
I just noticed it. Maybe turn the lights out?
I mean, he can't, because how has he got tracking? Because he won't be tracking, because I don't think he's got the HTC base stations, right? So we need some sort of light.
That's what you think.
Trust me, I would know, because I remember the previous headset that I had, if I didn't have enough light, it would look like I was like a drunken sailor. It was like, whoa, whoa.
Early in the morning.
Yeah, no, seriously, like the entire, like, the car would flip upside down. It was like completely vomit-inducing.
So, Seth Knoll and Dom DeLeo did not pit.
Yes.
Jake Nichols. Hey, there he is.
He's back.
Turn the lights back on. Jake Nichols is the first driver that came to pit lane. Everyone took 4 tires, from what I can tell. Michael Curhan, second on fresh tires. Matthew Bell, third on fresh tires. Cedric Hunter, Casey Lakatos, Blake Hoppy, Ricky Springer, Greg Mitchell, your top 10.
I don't know if I like the call for Seth Knoll.
No, I hate it.
Like,
it's awful.
yeah, because you saw even a small difference is significant enough. I don't think it'll be long. Unless he's hoping that the last 40 laps of this race are going to be absolute chaos.
How many tire sets do we have here?
I can tell you.
Because
Yeah.
Seth Knoll pit an extra time.
6.
Okay, so they've got more. But Seth Knoll, had he pit, he would have used up 1 more tire set than everyone else immediately behind him, other than Dom DeLeo. Because everyone else has pit 4 times. Seth Knoll has also pit 4 times. So had he pit, he would have pitted. That would have been his 5th time. That
Yeah,
means
that
he
would
would
have
have
been for the
only had
final
one set of tires left.
No, because
Oh, it's 5 plus the start when you start on.
Yeah.
So that would be why. In which
so
case,
they'll have about 1 more set.
In which case, on 12-lap old tires, I don't hate it that much.
I guess he's just trying to risk it there. Because, let's see. He hasn't gotten a win, so I guess he's figuring might as well, throw a Hail Mary. We'll see if it'll work, though, with 40 laps to go.
And we're going to restart the 24 hours of Darlington here in just a moment's time. I'm just kidding. It's actually not that long, but it is a long race. Again,
Can you imagine the 100% Cup leagues that do this?
If this race had gone green from start to finish, it would be done an hour and 30 minutes, which means we would have been done
2
half
minutes
an hour
ago.
ago. Yeah, oh, no?
Yeah.
No, because 2 minutes ago was 2 hours since race start. So, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, Dom
Leo's sleeping.
Well, he's got 18-lap old tires too, which isn't helping. 40 to go next time by. And Jake Nichols is probably going to make pretty easy work here of the one out front. Especially with a teammate up there, Finney.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to do a whole lot to
my
force the issue
goodness,
here.
and a Kogak in the wall.
Yeah, he pancaked the wall out of 2. Nichols to the lead, no surprises there.
There's a change. Jake Nichols back up to the lead. No, you can see how long he can last out there with everyone else. And it's the Hornets that's in behind. As everyone's making these last grabs for position. How about Casey Lakatos up in 5th place?
Oh my goodness, Casey Lakatos. That's the definition of keeping your car clean and green. I don't think he's got a Darlington stripe on that car.
Don't jinx him, Hunter.
Oh
You know the
my
drill.
gosh.
You can't say that.
Well, we almost got a Darlington stripe.
Yeah, Casey's one of his best ever finishes on SimTV, I think, came here at Darlington, if I recall correctly. It was a long
Trying
time
to
ago.
hang on in there. I mean, to finish first, he must first finish. So he's definitely living that philosophy, though he's dropping down the order a little bit after that. Half spin off of turn 2. Ricky Springer getting on past him, as well as a couple others.
23's going to be a little slow here out of 2. Kwame Scott's going to take advantage of that, drive to the inside.
Oh, he's been having a rough run. He's just been caught up in something or the other since he got placed back here.
Connor Horn back up to 7th as well. Let's keep an eye on the 42. I know he's been in a couple wrecks tonight, but most of the repairs have been completed and looking pretty quick. And we know he's aggressive.
What? Aggressive?
Yeah, you know what they say. Aggressive goes around to the inside. Gives Cedric Hunter a shove.
We're trying to get past Dom DeLeo, who's been dropping down the order, though not as probably significantly as I would have thought. I think for Dom, the biggest thing is going to be just handling the older tires and how loose they are compared to everyone else. So, run on by Ricky Springer, trying to get past the 22. Matthew Bell ahead of Seth Knoll up ahead, so now the number 9's in 2nd place.
What a rotation this top 10 has been all night long.
Revolving
It
door.
really has been, yeah, it really has been a revolving door, maybe except for the leading spot. It's really been between Nichols and Matheson. Matheson, speaking of which, is up in 8th place.
Moving forward by the looks of it, but trapped behind Ricky Springer for the moment.
Oh, Beckner. Oh, boy.
35 laps to go next time by. Nichols leads Matthew Bell. That 9 car's been a silent sleeper tonight as well. Hasn't been lower than 16th, which tonight is actually quite a miracle.
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't really highlight his 9. That 9's been a lot further down the order. Down 15, down 16th, I believe. He's been recovering now, finally backing around where he started, up into 2nd place. Has potentially had a shot at catching the 73. I don't think we really seen much of the 9 in his true pace, but it's a clean air, might have something to work with here. Seth Hill still holding his own decently in 3rd, but he's got a little pocket runner.
Yeah, that 9's not going away just yet. And the one of Knowles kept it calm in the 3rd spot for now, but we'll have to see. Still over 30 laps to go as Casey Licata is hunting down the 17 of Ed Shearer Jr., trying to get back closer towards the top 10, and the yellow's back out. So forget everything I just said.
Jeremy Miller in the 30. Right behind the number 2. And just got in behind him and crashed. Whew.
I'm hearing Ricky and Jake Matheson are having a back and forth because Jake just got passed by him in turn 1, and Ricky's like, "Oh, just let the broadcast know it was all according to plan. It was a strategy call."
Good to know. Matthew Bell running 2nd. So what this is going to do is bunch the field back up again. It's going to bring Connor Horn and Jake Matheson a row closer, although the 42 hits pit lane.
Oh.
Interesting.
That is really interesting. I guess he's feeling that the fresh tires are worth it. And
does he have a set left?
I think he does.
He's been on pit lane 10 times, so I assume that
he's had to get some damage repair. I would assume he's come down. I can't imagine he came down for fuel, right?
Tires going on.
You know, this is one of those where I really wish ATV told us when they take tires or not, because we just kind of have to guess how many tires they have, depending on how many times they've come down to pit lane. If they've been down there like 20 times.
We're good at guessing.
It's hard for us to tell.
Except all the times that we're not, but... Off and away. There are some others that pit behind him. Kwame Scott, Dom DeLeo, Mitchell, Beckner, Miller, Bell, Senesek, Rafe Slate, Tyler Nichols also came down to pit road.
The Connor Horn will be put back out in 12th. So 12th with 30 laps to go, that's not a terrible call. I guess it's really just a matter of if we're going to have enough green flag laps to run to the end for him to make it up.
Yeah, I think if I was Seth Knoll, this is the last realistic point when I think you would bother to take tires. Right? I mean, anything less than 30 laps, I don't think there's enough wear to bother. I think you'd rather have the track position, but after this restart, I don't think there's enough time to use good tires.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just doesn't feel like he's got enough overlap where they would be useful after the restart. So, because he's only got a 13-lap advantage over everyone if he were to pit now. So he's kind of between a rock and a hard place this time.
Yeah, I don't know. It is, like you said, it's a hard call to make if you're in his position, because if they kept running, there's a solid chance he would have finished 3rd, maybe at the very least top 5, but I think the worst thing for him is going to be the restarts. He's not going to be able to keep up with the pace when everyone's bunched up together and making moves on him. I think that's going to be his Achilles heel, but we'll see. He's had some pretty decent pace despite his older tires.
Just in case anyone's wondering, David Weishart. This pit stop time is
Oh my.
pretty poor.
Yeah, I think that's past the repair clock.
I would say
NASCAR.
so. 76
what's
minutes,
the
25 seconds.
what's the limit now for that?
Oh, I'm not sure. Wasn't it 5 minutes before?
I thought that's what I thought it was 5 minutes.
Maybe they made it 10 now.
Oh, they actually increased it?
Or, yeah,
Nice.
I thought they increased it. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Because David Weiser's looking at like endurance racing pit stop sign limit for
Yeah,
replace like half the car.
I do think one of the contributing factors to these many yellow races on the Cup Series side is this new damage model that you can just fix your car infinitely, which is a huge problem. And the fact that we've got tire sets that we can limit now, you should be limiting how many body panels you can put back on these things. Just as a reference of how bad this problem is, I know everyone in this field has been in at least 2 wrecks at this point. There are 25 drivers rolling. 22 of them are on the lead lap. That is not how that should have unfolded.
No.
So that's the reason why, I mean, the attrition level should actually be much, much higher than this. And it just kind of folds onto itself and makes it worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird how you can just like flex the car completely, because that wasn't always a thing with the new damage model release.
It still isn't, but little impacts that should end your race definitely don't now. And so you end up with cars returning to the racetrack and keeping fields at 35 cars for 150 laps. So anyway, lap 172 coming to the restart here. Jake Nichols in command on the inside lane in that blue 73, back underway here in the 73 car.
Off and away they go. Jake Madsen up to 6th place, trying to make something work here, running around the outside. Seth Knoll jumping to the top, trying to hold off, defend for his teammate from Matthew Bellin behind.
The Knoll blinking in and out at the wrong time for the number 1. Still running in second, though, is Horn, looking to continue to move up on the field. Passes Lacaze for 10th. Here comes Curran looking to the outside of Matheson.
Oh, that's got tight out at turn 4 there, and car spinning, crashing. 23 stopped on track. Pulling down to the apron. We'll check on that one in a little bit as we go back up to the front here for a moment.
Ooh, Conahorn getting tight out of turn 2 as it back off of it's going to lose some time. And almost under attack back from Casey Lakatos.
And here is the incident that we just saw between the 23 and the 22 got shot into the corner by the 8, and he bounced off the wall and collects Blake here, not of his own doing.
Mommy Scott almost got involved when it got punted back around it.
Yeah, watch this again between the 22 and the 8. Big shot.
Back at the live view, the battle for 3rd place. Jake Madsen's back in this. After error coming down to pit lane, giving him an EOL, taking him out of the order. He's back up in 4th. And very much a contender for the lead.
The next time they cross the stripe, it'll be 25 laps to go. Still plenty of time for Matheson to close up and get back towards the lead. Gonna have to get inside the podium spot, though, to have a shot at it as Bell to the outside. Matheson sends it in. Bell into the wall, and there's the pass. So Matheson up to 3rd. Now has the Solar Flare teammates of Nolan Nichols to pass with 25 to go.
Yeah, Matheson is Jake Nichols' biggest fear right now, especially if he can dispatch Seth Knoll, who's kind of playing rear gunner for a moment. As soon as this 56 passes the 1, it's game on, and Jake has led more laps than Jake at this stage. I think the 73 might be quicker, but Jake wasn't able to contend once he was shuffled back in traffic. Where the 56 earlier, remember, he passed the 73 the old-fashioned way on course at speed.
We'll see if he's got anything left in the tank here. We're running out of laps. That would seem like this race is going on for some of these drivers forever. We're getting down to the thick of it here in this later going, and Matheson, who we thought was going to be out of it, he's back in the running here.
Oh, here we go. Good run from Matheson out of turn 2 down the backstretch as he's looking to complete the pass on Seth Knoll going into turn 3. Going to slide up and complete that pass, as you saw in the background there. 42 of Horn up to 7th, making a move past Springer and Cedric Hunter, now battling for the 8th spot.
And 13 almost bounced off of him. Here's Edward Sherrod Jr. into the mix as well. And now our eyes turn to that gap between Matheson and Nichols to see if that will come down as a trend in the next couple of laps.
I think for Matheson, he's got to try to make it come down as much as he can. It's the old push now. No more saving. You got to be pushing from here on out.
got to give it everything you got. Still over 20 laps left in this race as Springer's defending that 8th spot from Cedric Hunter, still trying to get a peek to the inside just to get some clean air, but to no avail from him. They're rolling to turn 1. Ed Shearer Jr. still inside that top 10 with Ricardo in 11th in the background.
Jordan Miller, after the most recent yellow, almost back up to 12th on the back of race late here for position. Going to dive to the inside.
Miller's trying to recover for tonight. Not the worst of nights, but been involved in a couple incidents, just trying to make up for lost ground. Side by side with the 8, and we'll get a run off turn 4. I think should be able to clear on the front straight right here.
Rafe will give it up. Looks like he will, and that will allow Jeremy to scoot away, and Kwame Scott now into the picture.
Kwame Scott's had a very topsy-turvy night. Gets up a couple positions, gets involved in a wreck, gets a couple positions more, gets involved in another wreck. So he's probably not, he's going to want to forget about.
Yeah, he's been stuck in that 14th spot for what feels like an eternity now. Look at the last stages of this event. Now he's going to look for 13th from Rafe Slate. Going to try and slide up and completes the pass on him. So move up one more spot. The 13th position.
The way that he drove in there, he wasn't coming out if he didn't make that pass. He drove in there with a huge head of steam. And it was make the pass or die trying.
Oh, Jacob Bell. Jacob Bell on the apron?
That was on the apron. He's trying to get out of the way of the leaders coming on by.
He's in the modified class. Yes!
Michael Curhan on board with him as he deals with pressure from Connor Horn.
Yeah, Connor's been trying to make up some ground here. He's weaved through a couple spots, trying to make Michael Curran battle for 6th, and Horn's going to get it. Whoa, as he gets past Domino, he was running on the apron.
Running on the old line. Running on the old line that they used to run back in the 50s and 60s. So we'll see. Is he waiting on the Ada Slate? I don't want to speculate. I think he's just trying to get out of the way.
Off into the corner here as we close down the number of laps remaining. Jake Matheson has run Nichols down. It was 4/10. Now it's down to under 2.
We always say, though, catching is one thing, passing is another, and especially at Darlington, passing is a completely different ballgame.
The lap car going to pull down low and let the 2 leaders go at it. Bryce Senesac moving out of the way. Matheson, this stays green to the end. He might have a shot at getting around the 73 and Nichols cleanly, but the option for the bumper is always there if he feels like he has to use it.
Got 3 wins on the season. Nichols has 1. Neither of them need to win to get into the playoffs. They're already solidly locked in there, but adding points will give you that cushion that you might need later in the season. So Matheson could use another one. Why not? But so could Jake.
Matheson's trying to make it know that this is definitely going to be a tough battle for the championship between these two, because really, I would say these are definitely your 2 championship favorites right here as we head closer and closer to the playoffs.
Enjoy the Jake Bank logo on the back there. Yes, let me get my Jake Bank credit card out.
I think Matheson's about to draw something here. He's getting closer and closer to that back bumper. I don't think we're going to see the 73 get moved out of the way. I think Matheson's going to try to do this as clean as possible.
He's right close to that bumper. Yeah, right on the bumper and coming out of turn 4. 14 to go this time by. And I don't know about you guys, but in math class I was taught that 70 is greater than 20, which is the amount that the winner gets and the amount that second gets. Winner gets 70, second gets 20, so $50 difference between second and first. So Matheson wanted to be a little bit richer and maybe get himself a bigger stake at the end of this one.
Yeah, that's why it was a bloodbath. I forgot it was a money race.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, that's another factor.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Matheson for the lead. Side by side into turn 1.
As into turn 1, so you can throw it there, right there to the apron and slide job up in front. He will do so, and Matheson, for the second time, races his way around the 73.
Oh, a little bump there from the 73. Jake Nichols now to the outside. Going to have a run going into turn 3 for the lead on Matheson. Going to try and power back into the first position, but Matheson not giving up just yet. Side by side, they're going to touch off 4.
12 laps to go, side by side, banging fenders. Nichols and Matheson,
And
2 Jakes going for it, Finney.
And you're going to want to watch him behind because there's a Big Red scheme and someone's about to make him taste the feel of Big Red. Because Connor Horn's charging hard with some fresher tires as Nichols on the wall. Here comes the 42.
Where did he come from? 12 lap fresher tires. Could that have been the call to win the race? Here comes Connor Horn.
Third, going to try and take second away from Jake Nichols. Great run off the corner, but to no avail. Nichols shuts the door on him, 11 to go. Matheson into the lead, and Nichols trying to fend off second from the fast-charging 42 of Horn.
This is not expected. I had no idea that the 42 was lurking this closely behind Finian, but he's lapping last time by half a second quicker and passes Jake Nichols with ease.
And Nichols is going to let him on by on the straightaway. I think he knows that this is not worth fighting because it's just going to let the 56 get further away. But yeah, Horn's been really lucky. A lot of the other competitors have been just letting him on by because they know that Horn had the advantage. So that's been helping Connor get up near the front. Now he's got a little bit of time to work with here to try to get around the 56.
Hunter, jog my memory. Was it Connor and Jake Matheson that came together a couple of weeks ago battling for the lead?
Oh, you bet your sweet bippy it was. It was at Dover.
Yeah. Either one
Round
win
two,
the race.
fight.
Yeah, this is going to get
And it was Horn. It was Horn that got into Matheson,
Yep.
and the driver in third, Jake Nichols, screwed away with the win.
Maybe that's why Jake Nichols has a longer memory than I do, and let Connor see if he can go repeat history up front here. This is tense now. Basically, from lap 60 to lap 180 didn't really matter, other than clearing out the field at this point. And now we got a race. 8 laps to go. He's coming. He's going to be there next time by, I think.
Again, he's got the fresher tires to work with and the advantage, but again, it's a matter of executing and getting it done. And the big thing is just got to hope and pray is that a caution doesn't come out here.
Might want to caution if you're the 56 of Matheson because that 42 is coming. He is closing in on the bumper. And where's he going to go? He's going to go to the outside. Matheson going to drive it in a little bit harder. You're going to have to block on corner exit, but 42 of Horn might have a big run here coming down the front stretch. 7 to go when it crosses the stripe.
Here we go. Connor Horn to the outside for turn 1. That's the line you want to be in to carry good speed. Into the corner. Gets the nose chopped as Matheson throws the block.
Slams the door shut, the 56, and Horn just trying to find some sort of way around. Matheson trying to make his car as wide as possible. He'll go way down below to defend.
Oh my goodness, almost shades of Dover as Horn returns the favor. Bumper 56 out of the way. It's the good old bumper run. Horn on the bottom, Matheson on the outside. New leader with 6 laps to go. It's Connor Horn.
Not clear yet.
Matheson's still there. He has a quarter panel to work with going into turn 1.
Side by side, Horn clears Matheson. Is he going to return the favor here through 1 and 2? Down to the inside. Oh, they slip. Big slide for Matheson as he catches the car. He's in the wall.
He crashes.
Oh, man.
Tried his best to stay off the 42, and in the end, he gets into the wall.
He knew that if he let the 42 clear, it was over.
And it might be. Wow. Down to 5 laps to go. That's what it came down to. Connor Horn was not a dominant force in this race. Wasn't even really in the top 5 for the entire race. Pulls a pit strategy, and now coming to 4 to go. Leads by 7/10 of a second. Matheson just trying to cling to second.
Great strategy call, and here comes Jake Nichols now trying to work around a slightly damaged 56. He's going to look to that outside. Seth Knowles also caught up as well.
On board with Knoll as they're working their way around Darlington for the final few laps. Nichols clears Matheson to second. Third is Matheson trying to defend it from the one of Knoll, who's closing in and might have an opportunity here going into 3.
Jake's just trying to cling to this now. His car's not going to drive very good with the damage he's got. Only needs the last 3 laps, but I don't know that he's going to be able to. Here comes Seth to the inside, but had to back out.
Yeah, and it's the fight for the final money-paying spot, $10 for third, and more importantly, the privilege of talking to us after the end of the race.
I think we owe
bigger prize.
Jake a conversation regardless, but here comes Seth to the inside. Caution.
Oh, caution!
Oh, caution! Oh my goodness, we got a spin in turn one. It's Rafe Slate, and he's going to give us our one and only attempt at a green-white checkered, Kyle.
Oh, that changes everything.
Well, I wonder what's Connor's reaction right now.
Let's go back and see how this started, but Connor looked pretty stoic. Oh, there was some net code there, unfortunately. I don't know that I could pin that on anybody.
Gotta say, I'm a bit surprised at how many incidents are on the straightaways tonight.
Yeah, but watch the quarter panels here. There was a good 1.5 feet between those two. But doesn't change the fact that it's about to mix up this whole race. Because Connor Horn can't pit. Everyone else is
no
going
way
to.
Jake's coming down.
No. Thought he might.
Yeah. No, I was like, there's no way it's worth betting. Unless you're like near the end of the order.
J. Ray Bay in the comments. Who had the 42 winning this 20 minutes ago? Nobody.
No.
And then as soon as he texted that, well then.
I mean, he's got the best opportunity of it. He's got the fresher tires as long as he can get a clean getaway. I really don't think the 73 and 56 have anything to get it unless they... And they're not the types to absolutely send it from, like, 10 car lengths back to the corners.
I think Matheson would on Connor, but I don't think he's got the car to do it now because of the damage. Jake Nichols, I don't think, has the change in the bank to go make a withdrawal on Connor Horn, I suppose.
What, doesn't have enough money in Jake Bank?
Jake Bank had some risky stocks, and he had to sell them off here, I think. Yeah, it was invested all in crypto.
Ah,
Too big
there
to
you
fail.
go. I also just want to point out for Connor Horn, this has been a great turnaround because the way his season started, I was trying to find where he was in the points because he was way down the order. Where's he in the points at one point? He was after race 3, he was 41st in points.
Yeah.
And now coming into tonight, he had, let's see, where is he in the points? He's 10th in the points with 1 win, and then if he can hang on, be gaining a lot more. So this middle part of the season's been very good for the number 42.
And we're going to re-rack and restack him. This will be our only attempt. If the caution comes out, the race is over. And if this race needed more laps, we got a couple extra.
Keep pacing, make it to 267, full race. Full race.
Yeah, it's not, at this point, you might as well, right?
Actually, it's a full 500, 267. Or
I think it's more than that, isn't it?
I think it's more than that. 312.
312, that's not. 367.
Oh.
God, that's a long race.
I really don't understand how these 100% Cup Series people do it.
I'm also turning into like those, the cranky Zoomers that are like, these races don't need to be this long. I'm turning into that guy. You tune in, you're like, 267 laps. Who wants to sit here all day and watch that? Do like 3 15-lap heats and call it a day. All right. 1 to green.
Here we go.
3 to go next time by. 2 to go next time by. For Connor, all he's got to do is nail this restart. I mean, the likeliness that something goes wrong behind him is extremely high. So nail the restart.
Make it off into turn 1 without anyone completely hanging you.
Yep, he's got
particularly the one behind you.
a 12-lap tire advantage as well. Did not have him on the bingo card for this race.
Don't think many people did. Started all the way down in 26th.
Nichols and Matheson. Matheson 5th, Nichols on pole. Calm before the storm here.
Oh, yeah.
Be a quick storm.
Depending on what happens.
Connor Horn, Jake Nichols in command here. 42 is the control car. At the restart, we'll have 2 laps to go. Caution comes out, race is over. Green flag. Horn nailed the start.
Exactly what he needed to do. Let's see what happens in behind him. They're side by side. Nichols, Matheson. It's going to be Nichols, then Matheson.
There they go. Car around already. Caution's out. Race is over.
And it's Rafe Slade again.
Yep, no surprise there.
Oh, there was like 4 cars that were all crashing at once there. You just get down to the end of a race like this, and you just know it's not going to finish under green.
No.
But, I mean, right here, the 50's sideways, the 28's sideways, the 41's, like, there was 3 cars all crashing on the road there.
Yeah, that poor Rafe just turned around.
Rafe is wishing that his car was camouflaged in real life because of how his
clearly it is, because no one's been able to see him tonight. I don't even think he's been able to see himself. Well, cinnamon-flavored gum, spicy out there tonight for sure for Connor Horn. And he'll come out of turn 4 after 204 laps. Connor Horn is going to go to victory lane in the Area Cup Series, Area 500, the Southern 500 tonight at Darlington Raceway. And it will put an end to the longest race of the season. Wrong camera.
I'm just hearing Ricky Springer talking about Connor Horn. He's like, yeah, he's like basically my friend now.
So he'll do his cool down lap and celebrate his 2nd win on the season. And that came from out of nowhere. He only led 11 laps.
Yeah.
Jake Nichols led 84. Jake Matheson led 95.
And all it took was just that one strategy call coming to that last caution, the penultimate caution. Connor made the right move, come in, get fresh tires, and drove his way through the field.
And play the strategy game, and it worked out in the end for Connor Horn, and starts off 2024 with a W in the column.
And he will celebrate down there on the main straightaway. It's been a long night, so let's quickly take a look at the results and talk to our winning drivers. And at the top of the order, it was Connor Horn in that Chevrolet. Gets it done there, Finney, and Jake Nichols, Jake Matheson, Seth Knoll. Only one non-Chevy in the top 10.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a very similar story when you look at the rest of the top 20 as well. Outside of that, currently only Ford mixing up inside the top 10. Kwame Scott finishing back in 7th after everything's said and done. I'm sure he wished for something better after the night he's gone through. Belcher Jr. and Ricky Springer rounding out your top 10. And then you head on through Miller, Hunter, Greg Mitchell, Casey Lacatus, Blake Hoppy. Haven't really talked about the 23 all night long, but ended up in 15. Tyler Nichols, Travis Beckner down in 17th after crashing out earlier on. Jacob Bell, Rafe Slade, and Bryce Senizak rounding out your top 20.
And there's the rest of the field with Inasogak, DeLeo, Robertson, Newbingo, Krezak, guys that were just caught up in carnage. Mason Kane made the climb from the back all the way up to 2nd at one point, then fell all the way back to 26 after some carnage. Him, Vincent Cortez, Yusuf Ghali, Blaze McKinney, and Cameron Hearn all succumbing to the Lady in Black.
Yeah, and there's the last page there, Finney, and big dramas, I think, for a lot of those drivers relatively early in the race, and some of them soldiered on for a little while just to get caught up in another collision, so a night to forget for many of those drivers.
Yeah, Bonner and Grant, Shane Wolf, Piers Weishart especially, and then Shackelford rounding out the rest of the field after 36, and a lot of retirees tonight.
And as soon as my hands are not as busy, we're going to talk to Jake Matheson, who is our 3rd place runner tonight in the number 56. And Jake, it didn't quite pan out the way that you were hoping tonight, but all said and done, 3rd place, not so bad, but you led a lot of laps, and I think you're probably going to be at least a little bit disappointed in how that panned out.
I'm really more disappointed in myself. I completely blanked that the commitment cone was further up than most tracks, so I gave myself an EOL and put myself back with 40 to go. So that stinks. But that last little 30 lap race there to the end, real fun. I saw Connor coming on new tires and little short track racing at 1.5 miles or however long this track is, and he had a good race. Jake ran a good race, absolutely wild from end to end, start to finish. So I had a good time. I'm lucky I was able to get a P3 out of this, especially with the right front bend after that contact late in the race. So good run. Do it again next week.
Well, it certainly was a decent result, especially after knocking that thing in the fence. The caution may be a saving grace for you there at the end, just to kill some laps. So congrats on managing to get that thing back to the checkers.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, cars come unhooked and I just shot right and hit the wall. Kind of lost my shot at anything for the win there, but you'll have that in the bigger jobs. I feel like this lucky Miller Racing hoodie I got from Area Shop was my good luck charm for the rest of the race. So I don't even know what to say. I'm tired. It's been a long race.
So are we, Jake. Congratulations, third place in the number 56.
Appreciate it. Just real quick, guys, I just want to thank Calusa Pines, Celsius, Area Shop, Alien Gear, Huckett Films, and Miller Racing for everything they do.
All right, Jake. Hey, thanks a lot. Congratulations. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And Jake Nichols led a whole bunch of laps tonight, but wasn't able to three-peat on your past wins here in the Area Southern 500. Second place, though. Decent points night. Some positives to take away, I'm sure.
Yeah, good night overall, obviously. I wish we had more of our racing in the daytime here. The car felt perfect in the day. We kind of got untimely yellows at certain points when we were just getting going on the long run or just waiting for the long run to kick in, and then a yellow would come out. It happened 3 or 4 times, but we'll take it. Couldn't really do much at the end there. Car was just, I drove the same and it was just so loose. So I felt like my only chance really to steal something was letting Connor go and seeing if they would wreck each other, and it almost happened. That was definitely the best shot I had, but I don't know. There's some great racing out there, and then there's a lot of guys in here that just race way over their head and talent level, and there's like 20% respect out here at the one track you need the most respect given and received, and it's a little annoying, but we'll take it. Seth came back from dealing with some drivers and their idiot moves and idiot style racing, and came out with a good team night, so we'll take it. Good one on Connor, good race with Matheson. It's always fun racing with him. We race as hard as we can, but it always tends to be pretty clean, so you got to respect that kind of stuff. So either way, great race to everyone that kept it clean as good as they could, and thanks to everyone at Area again, and you guys at SimTV for broadcasting here tonight.
Thanks, Jake, and $20 to your name, also $1 for every percent of respect out there this evening.
Hell
so
yeah.
Enjoy
we'll
that, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you guys.
Yeah, all right, Connor Horn brings it home in victory lane. Nobody had you on the bingo card tonight, Connor. I don't think even you did until that last run to the checkers with those fresher tires. Congratulations. Where did you come from in that?
I came from 12th. I don't know. I felt like I had a set of tires. I had one set of tires left for like probably 60 laps after some of the incidents I was in, and then I just decided to take the tires. I got up to 6th, and I just felt like I had no chance to win regardless unless I tried a tire strat. So I took my last set there with like 30 to go. I just I would have been happy if it went 20 laps and then went yellow, because I didn't really know if anyone had tires left. But yeah, I got up there. A few people let me by. I got up to about 4th, and then I got by Seth. He let me go, which was surprising to me. I think he wanted both Jakes and then maybe me to race it out, and then he could get in on it. Jake passed Jake. Matheson passed Nichols, and then Nichols got back to his inside or outside, and then they lost so much time to 1 and 2. I was like, oh my god, wait, I could win this. So I didn't think I could win it until like 8th to go, and then Matheson got by, then Nichols let me by, which is really crucial as well. And was just able to get a run on Matheson. He obviously protected the inside pretty hard. He got back in front of me in middle 1 and 2. I gave him a bump, and then his tires were shot at that point. I got another run out of 2, and then he blocked really hard. And I figured, well, at this point, all bets are off. So I shoved him into 3 for sure. Put him up the track because I know no one could really get a run out of 4 on the top all night long, especially on old tires. I felt like it was what I had to do. just bearing he didn't end up dooring me, which he definitely side drafted me, but he didn't door me. He raced me clean considering how physical it got. And then in the one, was able to clear him. He tried his hardest to get back under me and make a challenge out of it, and then I got away. And yellow came out 2 to go. I was pissed because I honestly thought people behind me had tires, but no one bit. So that was huge as well, just to get through there as quickly as I did. And then I think I had it won. I had a good restart, but either way, yellow came out and solidified that. Crazy race.
Yeah, job well done, though, Connor. After a long race like that, managing to play the strategy at the right point. Job well done, and race win earned. It's your second one on the season. It's been a long night, so we're going to sign off here shortly, but
yes,
congrats,
sir.
and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. But just quickly, I hate to keep you longer because everyone's been kept long. Jeremy almost didn't. Jeremy had to leave quickly because he couldn't pick his girlfriend up in time. But shout out 6ix9ine Motorsports, Jonathan Oates, making our paint schemes. I think we had the 4 best throwbacks in the field, and I'm chewing Big Greg tomorrow in honor of that. That was crazy to get through there. Obviously, Yusuf, Jeremy, and Skyler for racing. They really didn't have good luck, but Jeremy got back to 11th. And Pro Series side, shout out Macco Tools for sponsoring Delonte, Jake Nichols, and Jeremy. We got some good throwbacks. I'll reveal that on our Twitter in the next few days. But yeah, just really stoked to win. I say all the time I hate this track, but somehow run well at it, and I lucked into a win. So I'm pretty stoked.
Well, if you don't chew Big Red, then
yeah, say
sign
it.
off.
No, okay.
All right, Connor. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
See you. See you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Wow. What a race. What an evening. And we'll wrap things up here in just a moment and sign off for the evening. But long race here in the Area Southern 500, but we were treated to a pretty classic battle there at the end, Finian.
Oh yeah, fantastic battle amongst Connor Orr and Jake Nichols Matheson. It was a long time. It took a long time to get there, but man, was it worth it. At the end, that last 20 laps was really solid racing from all 3 of those drivers. They didn't wreck each other. They raced each other really hard, almost to the point of wrecking each other, but hard-fought battle amongst all 3 of them. Hats off.
Yeah, hats off to Slinger Racing Graphics for being the presenting sponsor for the Area Southern 500, the 5th annual Southern 504 area. And I mean, what a thriller it was from start to finish. Had some good racing, had a lot of crashing, carnage going on, but that's what you expect when you come to the track Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway, Kyle. And good news for those of you that do like racing at this racetrack. We got racing tomorrow night for the Truck Series and Thursday for the Pro Series.
Yeah, we certainly do. It's going to be an interesting watch tomorrow night with the Truck Series race right after the Full Send Sim Spec Miata Series race from Sebring. We'll see you there tomorrow night, right back here at Darlington. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.